TheBoxingVoice.com is brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services. El Camino Electric has over 15 years of commercial experience with startup companies, work consisting of design build, clean room fabrications, lithography labs, test labs, special tools, and equipment installs. El Camino Electrical specializes in the install of EVC from the start of the project to the finish. El Camino Electrical Services is an established commercial electrical contractor with the ability and experience to carry out industrial and commercial work. Services include design build, electric vehicle supply equipment infrastructure, semiconductor fabrication clean rooms, special equipment and tools, startup companies, turnkey installation, electrical vehicle supply equipment infrastructure. So head over to ElCaminoElectricalServices.com for all your electrical needs. Have you ever wanted to hear the host discuss a subject that wasn't on the agenda? Or worse, have you been denied the chance to introduce a topic because of the time restrictions of the show? Do you have an idea for a show? Something that is not being covered or talked about in today's boxing media, but is important to you? Would you like the opportunity to control the Boxing Voice conversation and have TBV's entertaining panel discuss your topic with their brand of diverse opinions and entertaining banter? Now, the Boxing Voice is giving you, the listener, the power, total control. With our new on-demand service, you can contribute to the conversation in a way that isn't being offered anywhere else. Finally, you can get the exact show you want with all the same unpredictability you've come to expect from our live radio show podcast. Simply fill out the form below, decide from our many options, and give us your concept. That's not all. TBV On Demand is giving you full control by allowing you to choose the date and time. Plus, for the first time in radio history, we will be giving you the opportunity to become part of the show by deciding how involved you want to be.
Boxingvoice.com.
Saul Beyonce Productions.
I must be the greatest.
Let's get that done. I've been here before and I know what it takes. Hard work, dedication, Boxingvoice.com. And whether it's PPV, he's the best.
Win, lose, or draw, we coming to fight. Can't nobody take that away. We're coming to fight.
They do what they can, I do what I want.
When you look at how he throws that left hook, it starts out really low. We're going to see what kind of character he is.
Oh, the lefts and rights by Maidana. And it's all Marcos Maidana here. A lot of those punches off his shoulder.
I think anybody out there listening or key, anybody think that that's a dangerous deal to make. I think it's perfect.
Boxingvoice.com.
15 minutes. Can you be slow for 15 minutes? Can you? Listen, the concentration is leaving a little bit. Pick it up. Pick it up!
Some things about we got to deal with the body shots. I don't think you want to be that close to us. He's talking about letting the left hook go, then you go take the left hook. Let's get that done.
Look, the fire's coming. Are you ready for the fire? Look, we're firemen. We are firemen. The heat doesn't bother us. We live in the heat. We train in the heat.
Boxingvoice.com.
Let's get that done.
Danny, how much of the difference is it for you at this weight? Yeah, I'm working out. I lost like 35 everybody to the drink.
Puerto Rico. Miguel
Boxingvoice.com.
We're not going to do that. We're going to take this fight against Keith. We're going to get less than you, Keith, but we're going to get more the second time. So go ahead and make it 2 times.
Boxingvoice.com. My job is to focus on boxing, going out there being the best that I can be.
All right, you men receive my instructions. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands. I want you to touch gloves now, man. You're boxing at the bell. Let's go.
Boxingvoice.com. Boxingvoice.com.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio, special edition. And I know this is our traditional time and date, but today is Mother's Day, so shout out to all the mothers out there all the special ladies that brought all us men into this world and, obviously gave us the ability to breathe and love boxing as much as we do, to still be sitting around a computer or a mobile smartphone listening to the Boxing Voice on Sunday, Mother's Day, right? So I just want to thank everyone that is tuned in. And if you are tuned in, thumbs up for a Mother's Day show, because guess what? We're here. And I got a mom too, but I love you just as much. So I'm going to head on over to Arizona, where it's hot, very hot, to none other than the Rocket himself.
Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Boxing fans, here's Jameson.
Bro, I hope you went to Costco. I hope you got that wholesale crow, because between me and you and everyone else on this show, we got a lot of crow to eat. You might as well be calling us the White Walkers right now, because we're about to kill a lot of crow. So, however you pick these fights this weekend, we were all over the map. Some fights you felt like a genius. Other fights you felt like, oh, shit, how did I not see this coming? But I think that's going to make for some good show tonight. So let me pass the ball back over to you. Introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
Well, tell me, you said some didn't go the way that we expected. Without diving all the way head deep, throw me a name. What didn't go the way that you expected?
Shit, Anthony Corolla. Anthony Corolla pulled off the upset against Barroso in the best way possible. If anyone hasn't watched that fight, head over to Twitter, go to Davey Boy Essex, check out that fight. That fight was amazing. Corolla was getting his ass beat basically 3-4 rounds, but he came back to win by knockout. On top of that, Curtis Stevens upset Patrick Teixeira. And then you had Mauricio Herrera looking old, and it wasn't because I thought he was looking old. I think it was because Frankie Gomez kind of came into light. And then I guess those are the three major ones, and the other two kind of went as expected. But I had a lot of fun this weekend watching these fights. I saw a lot of heart. The only thing I can say is Amir Khan is how I want everyone, all the other fighters in boxing to be. But we'll pass it over to Mario. You introduce Mario. I'm sure he's got a lot to say because he's general of the Khan's army.
Well, we are going to take another trip down to where it's hot. This time to Corpus Christi.
It's me, Mario.
Happy Mother's Day first and foremost. Wherever y'all want to start, I'm ready to start. I had a great time watching all these fights this weekend. If y'all want to get straight into Canelo-Khan, that's fine with me.
Let's start from the bottom up, though, because we're going to get lost, and we're not going to talk about these other fights if we don't do it.
We could totally do that. Really quick, though, I want to kind of bring up a few things here. Some attendance for the live gate of Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Amir Khan, because I think it's pretty impressive. Almost 17,000 people. Did that impress you guys? Did you know about that number? Or is that not a big number since we've seen him do 30 or something close to 40 in Texas?
I think it's a good number. I think that's exactly where it needs to be. I got a text from Canadian Jose that said that the UK fans didn't show up for the actual fight itself, although they were there for the weigh-in and they were waving their flags. That there wasn't many British fans for Khan, and that kind of hurts me a little bit because Khan did something that we want a lot of fighters to do, and that really does disappoint me. But I think 17 is good, especially for someone like Las Vegas. Everyone talks about it. You got to fly in, you got to drive in. It's not just some area where people are at. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people in Las Vegas, but most of them are there working in the casinos. They might not be the biggest boxing fans. So I think 17 is extremely respectable. When you think about what happened with Pacquiao and Bradley, I don't think they even got something like that. I think they got a lot less than that. And on top of that, they were giving away tickets. So I think that's respectable for the fight it was. And I think he's gonna improve because Canelo Alvarez, regardless of how this fight ended up, however you predicted the fight, Canelo Alvarez is turning into a star before our eyes.
17,000 is a great number. It's a terrific number for a fight town like Vegas.
Let me just give the exact. It's 16,540, which is basically 17,000.
Yeah, 16. We'll round up. No, 16.5 is still. I mean, it's a great number, especially for a fight town like Vegas. That's what you have to understand about big numbers like 30, 40,000. When you talk about Texas, even like California, when they've done big numbers in the Staples Centers, like those are arenas, those are locations that are designed for like major events that are able to like suck out every single attendee in terms of like who they are dedicating the fight to. These are specific fight fans that they are catering to. When someone like Canelo goes to Texas, they are catering to the Hispanic crowd. They are very, very confident that they're going to show out in big numbers. For a place like Vegas, where there's so many other things to compete with on a regular weekend, there's just so much more stuff to do. That's a significant number for the T-Mobile Arena. We'll find out where it sits all time once they start getting some other fights there. But I think that's a tremendous fight to start out with. I'm not really surprised by the lack of UK people that came out. Listen, when Ricky Hatton came and everyone showed up from the UK and basically took over Vegas for the Floyd Mayweather fight, that was expected. He had already built a record. He had already built a reputation. He had already built a following in the UK. They loved him. They admired him. Amir Khan has done so many things with his career that have turned off the UK crowd. If you talk to a regular UK person, they'll tell you that they favor Kell Brook time and time again. They'll tell you that he's more of a UK guy. I totally didn't expect for them to show up, and they didn't. He's not the kind of guy that they get to travel for, and it's his own fault because of what he's done in the welterweight division, which is nothing. Okay, he has let people down for years. Hopefully he stops.
What's going on here? Two shows in a row where you're flipping sides on Khan.
I'm not flipping sides. I'm keeping it absolutely 100. And listen, I didn't say this last show. People should go back and listen to the shows. I never said that Khan was a deserving welterweight. I said he was the best welterweight, but theoretically, he can't be the best welterweight if he's never fought Thurman, Porter, Brook, and all these guys. You know what I mean? He doesn't deserve to be ranked number one.
How are you going to be on that Benedict Arnold flow and all of a sudden, switch sides like that?
Listen,
come on. Let's be real, Mario. You're a big Khan fan.
I don't know.
Huge frustrating. Huge Khan fan.
I'm a huge Khan fan. I went to go see Amir Khan versus Carlos Molina, and let me tell you, the air horns were out, the singing was out, and to hear about something like this, look, let's think about someone like Kell Brook. Kell Brook right now is keeping it 100. It's fighting bums over there in the UK. He took that title. He got a good win over Sean Porter, and he's now kind of just surviving off the fact that he won over Sean Porter. Someone like Amir Khan is daring to be great. He moved up in weight. We were all like, oh, how is he going to be with the welterweight division? And then all of a sudden he fights, and then all of a sudden he jumps back up in weight. He jumped up one weight class. I don't care what anyone says. He didn't jump up two weight classes. He jumped up one weight class plus 1 pound. And I think he needs people's support. Yeah, I think he needs the support behind him because he did something great. I think he's something
needing and deserving.
Guys, wait. Honestly, because they're gonna group us all, but you guys sound very sour on Khan.
No.
Sounding sour on Khan.
Listen. I'm gonna break this down very, very, very subtly. I said the UK has had a problem with Amir Khan. I am not from the UK. And I don't have a problem with them. But I've heard that for years, that Kell Brook is their guy. Let's talk about the fight itself. And I will tell you something that will bring all of your spirits back. Amir Khan, what he did last night is prove that he is the best welterweight in the world right this second. Could you imagine Thurman doing what he did to Canelo last night? No. Porter, no. Brook, I don't think so. I don't think anyone could have had the success that Amir Khan was able to have against Canelo yesterday. Yesterday was the best welterweight fighting, perhaps the best junior middleweight fighting at middleweight. And this was an absolute clinic at times for Amir Khan. He never put a full round together where it was like, oh, he's dominating. Canelo was always there with him. But he was making Canelo miss like an amateur. He was hitting Canelo with shots that really did. And I know they talked a lot of shit about Floyd and all that stuff, but there were times where he did that duck under or he did that turnaround slide. He didn't necessarily roll the shoulder, but he ducked out of the way and came back over. Those are elite skills. He proved last night how good he can be. I'm praying to God that Amir Khan's career is not washed away with all the things that he never did.
Mario, I think you're being a bit excessive.
I'm not.
The fight is 12 rounds. I'm tired of you Khan fans, and now I got to sound salty because I'm tired of you Khan fans trying to characterize this man's career off 2 or 3 sporadic rounds throughout his entire career. You wanna forget everything that's gone wrong with his career and only talk about his speed. Now, look,
But tell me what rounds 8 through 12 he did bad in, Ness.
he didn't make it to 8, man.
Exactly. He gets knocked out, so don't say that he's not a complete or full fighter. I mean,
he didn't look good in the Algieri fight. Let's be real. The Algieri fight was closer than it was in the card.
That was spotty. That was a very spotty fight, yeah.
And then Lamont Peterson.
A fight is 12 rounds. Like, I seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, Khan was up 6-0 until the knockout." And that's cool. That's cool because I definitely had Khan up by like 4. It was like 3-1 on my card for sure. So
4-1, you mean?
Yeah. So I had Khan up, but let's be real. Like, it's a 12-round fight. You have to win all of them or knock that guy out.
No argument.
For you to be saying that he showed elite level skills, I don't think that you can show. I mean, look, and he deserves all the credit. And that's what we should be focusing on. Let's just switch subjects. Focus on the fact that he did get in there. He's okay, and the fact that Virgil Hunter is coming for Gennady Golovkin. Well, he's calling for Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez, so he's coming for Golovkin's head. Canelo's head. Obviously, he wants that on a platter. I wish I had the soundbite, which I do, but I'm not happy with the quality, so we're not going with it.
Well, let me real quick make one last point, James, before you jump into this thing. I do want to address the fact that everybody talks about the knockout from last night. I don't care what welterweight was in the ring last night. He would have been laid out on the floor just like Khan. It is not any indication of a weak chin. I'm not saying that he doesn't not have a weak chin. All I'm saying is that's not the proof. James, what do you think about Virgil's reaction last night?
Well, Virgil always has a vendetta. Let's be real. It's Virgil versus Abel Sanchez outside the ring, and it's Gennady Golovkin versus someone like Andre Ward inside the ring. I think you could smell it. You could kind of feel it. There's a frustration with someone like Gennady Golovkin, the way that Amir Khan got knocked out. You could see Virgil Hunter just kind of be like, all right, Triple G, go ahead and put yourself through this. I like it, but let's be real. I mean, I don't want to be that guy that says I called the fight, but I called this fight to be in the 7th round. I said that he was going to get 7th round knockout. It happened 2 minutes before what I thought it was going to actually happen. But, what I learned from this fight was, one, Amir Khan did what a lot of people did, and they troubled Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez will forever and always, I think, have issues with someone that's a boxer. We saw it with Mayweather. We saw it with Lara. If you're able to stay on the outside of someone like Canelo Alvarez, he tends to not cut off the ring. He didn't do that too bad to last night, but what struck me most, I guess that shocked me the most, Canelo in the past has an issue with becoming very frustrated when you're moving from him. He starts throwing unnecessary punches. Think about the Lara fight. He would start just throwing punches that were just swinging wild, and you'd see Lara move out. And that's exactly how Amir Khan started off this fight. He was moving to his right and left. He was circling out perfectly, and I kind of got nervous a little bit, where I was like, damn, if someone like Amir Khan could keep this up, he might be able to pull off the upset. But as we've all said, this fight was very predictable. It's not if. It was when Canelo Alvarez lands that shot. And that jab, that feint that he had and came up over the overhand right, wasn't anything new. This is what we saw with Canelo Alvarez. He didn't get frustrated. He stayed. I guess what I'm trying to get to here is that someone like a Canelo Alvarez, with all the fights that he's had, he's become very mature. He understands what his role is in the fight. He understands that he fights people differently. With goddamn, why am I thinking of it? Why can't I think of it? Who's the dude that he just knocked out before this? Why can't I think of his name right now? Kirkland. He knocked out Kirkland. The way he fought Kirkland was how you fight a pressure fighter. If someone's nonstop coming for you, you just kind of stay on the ropes, cover up a little bit, counter shot. And the biggest problem with someone like Amir Khan is that he thinks he's a counter puncher. He thinks his speed is just so much greater than everyone else's. And when you see that knockout, Canelo Alvarez threw a feint, threw that right hand. You could see Khan trying to throw that left hook, take him out of the traps that Canelo was fighting. So while I would say I was extremely entertained by the fight because Khan did better than I thought he would be, because he really baffled Canelo pretty early, it ended exactly how I thought it would. I didn't think it was going to be one punch. I don't even remember a punch that even landed close to that. that even shook someone like Canelo or Khan, excuse me. Khan really didn't even get hit with a clean shot until he got hit with a clean shot, and he was out like a light. So go ahead, Mario. I'll let you defend yourself.
No. No. It doesn't need to even be defended. I mean, at the end of the day, you're absolutely spot on. And, I'm glad that you said it the way that you said it. Real quick, though, before I pass it back, I just want to say that I thought Virgil's comments were more about Canelo. I thought for once he was actually, defending Golovkin. It was like, you know what? Get in the ring with Golovkin. You did this to us. Now you get in that ring and you get done to
Yeah,
Golovkin.
I can see that. Yeah, you're right.
Why did James? I got lost. James was I was lost. But did you think the opposite?
I thought that he has a bit of a vendetta against Gennady Golovkin. I think that he has the way he said it to me was kind of like Canelo. The way he said it to me was like I felt that he was calling Triple G out to fight the guy that just knocked out his fighter. Like he's almost pissed off. Like, all right, yeah, you go fight. He's so in belief of Khan that I felt that he was calling Triple G out. That was my way. Am I wrong?
Oh, listen, I feel like...
No, I didn't see it that way. I seen him basically saying, we had no concessions. We accepted all of Canelo's terms. We did it. We tried to be great. Now you be great. That's what he's saying to Canelo.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly how I took it, 100%. It was like...
Yo, I mean, I don't even know how you got that lost. He said, stop hiding behind the flag.
No, and he also pretty much ridiculed him for his words. And I don't know if Virgil speaks Spanish or not, but basically what Canelo said was, this is about my heritage. I have to fight Golovkin, not for me, but for everything that I stand for. And he's absolutely right. He's put himself in that corner now.
That, Mario. So let's just
go ahead.
Yeah, let's play that one.
Let's start at the beginning.
So pumped.
Did he surprise you with his speed early?
Desde un principio lo dije, él es un peleador rápido que los primeros asaltos se me iba a complicar. Pero como lo dije también, tengo la experiencia para poder descifrarlo y solamente estaba esperando el momento oportuno y fue lo que pasó.
Like I said from the beginning, he's a fast fighter, he's very fast, and I knew that things were going to be complicated at the beginning, but I knew that time would come to my favor, and I absolutely saw that.
Time seemed to come to your favor, not only because you were bigger and stronger, but also because of your boxing skills. As the fight wore on, you seemed to be able to make him miss and counter more effectively. Can you talk about the skills that you showed in this fight?
Así es, como lo dije, muchos peleadores se basan nomás en que tengo poder, pero tengo muchas más cosas arriba del cuadrilátero y es cuando lo ven, cuando ya están enfrente de mí.
Many people focus on my power and talk about my power, but I've got many more qualities in the ring, and people see that, and that's what happened in the ring.
Me gusta sorprenderlos.
I like to surprise everyone.
Well, speaking of that, you seem much more comfortable with a fighter who comes at you than a fighter who runs away. Why is that?
Claro que sí, siempre es más complicado un peleador que boxea rápido, es más complicado, ¿no? Un peleador que viene hacia el frente, que viene a pelear, se da una bonita pelea y eso todo el mundo lo sabe, ¿no? A cualquier peleador se le dificulta un peleador así.
A boxer, someone that comes into box, obviously gives you more trouble, obviously. But, someone that comes to attack and comes to press you gives you the opportunity to have a very, very nice fight. But obviously it's difficult with someone who boxes.
There's a guy ringside watching this fight tonight who comes to attack Triple G.
Yo lo invité a que subiera.
I invited him to come to the ring.
You invited him to the ring? Why?
Yo lo invité a que subiera. Como decimos en México, hay que dejarnos de mamadas. No hay que... Los cinturones aquí se hacen a un lado. Hay que pelear por honor y por gloria nada más.
I invited him into the ring, and like we say in Mexico, we don't fuck around. We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
Gracias a toda la gente. ¡Viva México!
How can you hate a man like that?
Yo, so bottom line is, first of all, one thing I want to bring to your attention, and let's just go back and forth so you guys know, so we don't lose any train of thought. One of the things that I like was the minute that Max Kellerman said, there's a guy ringside, the crowd understood that. It was pro-Mexican, but they understood that. They all cheered. What else stuck out to you?
Well, I'll tell you what. Canelo Alvarez, he listens to the Boxing Voice podcast. He listens because he heard us all say, how dope would it be if Golovkin got in the ring? How dope would it be if he snatched the belt? How dope would it be if he got on the mic? He has to get up there and challenge him in some way, shape, or form. Instead, Canelo said, I invited him to the ring. I told him to come up here. I wanted him in this ring. But is he in this ring? He's not. That was a way of turning the tables, and he did so successfully.
You know, I really like that. I've been a fan of Canelo. You could say what you want of someone like Canelo, but ever since he called out Eroslani Lara, the way Lara came at him, he fought the people that fought the man. Like, he wasn't supposed to fight Jose Cesar Lopez. He was really supposed to fight someone like Victor Ortiz. He challenges himself, and that's why I like Canelo. Just as much as Amir Khan moving up in weight is a very manly decision to do, what he did last night was he put himself between a rock and a hard place on purpose. If he doesn't fight someone like Triple G, these are going to come back and bite him in the ass. But I personally do think that someone like Canelo has a lot of pride on the line. He wants to win over the Mexican fans. He wants to win over the American fans. He wants to be that champion. He's daring himself to be great. I saw the post-fight interview where he said he was going to fight Golovkin at 160, and that's no problem. I think that's good for him because he did look a little bit sunken in the 155. And I don't, I talked a lot of shit last night on Twitter. I had some fun, blah, blah, blah. But realistically, Canelo could be a different beast at 160. Do I think Triple G would beat him? I really do. I absolutely do think that Triple G would knock him out. But I think it'd be fun while it lasted because Canelo has that it factor. Maybe he has that Danny Garcia factor, almost with like Lucas Matisse, where he's gonna do what it takes to win the fight, and it doesn't matter how he gets it done. I think he's just gonna push himself. The pride is going to overcome him. Every time I see Canelo, you see a new facet of his boxing ability. You see something different every single time out that you're like, damn, he didn't have that in the fight before. In this fight, I saw patience. In this fight, I saw maturity. And for someone that's very young like this, I really do think that Canelo has a great chance against someone like Golovkin, but I really don't think he's going to win the fight. But I'm really glad that he did it the way he did because he didn't let Golovkin crash his party. He was the one that brought the party to Golovkin, and I like the way that he did it. So I would rather it this way than like we talked about, was Golovkin coming in the ring, stealing the microphone, blah, blah, blah. I wanted him to call him out, and that's exactly what he did. Props to Canelo. That's it.
I will say that James's point resonates with me on this factor. Okay, we're not going to sit here and say that Canelo is the lineal champion, like for real, but the reason why this fight is so enticing is because Canelo represents, I think right now, realistically, the most significant threat to Golovkin. So, it's very rare to have the most commercial and most realistic threat, be that guy, the two top guys. And so while I don't think that that Canelo beats him, I do think that this is the best fight now that Andre Ward is, out of the picture completely.
As far as star power, let me bring this down to the undercard real quick. As far as star power, I do believe that Canelo Alvarez is the number one right now for Golovkin to fight. I think that's probably the biggest fight in boxing right now in terms of pay-per-view sales. But what I saw from David Lemieux last night, that someone like Canelo Alvarez can beat David Lemieux. What's up?
No, you had paused up a bit.
Shit.
Hey, so any reports on pay-per-view numbers?
No way. Way too early. It'll be like a few days.
Man, I'm hoping he did 1 million, man. It seemed like a very look, I bought it. I didn't want to buy it. And even my friend who was supposed to come watch it, he ended up buying it. So, a lot of people see it. Look, Enrique was also supposed to come over, so he ended up buying it. A lot of people probably bought this one. It seemed like you didn't want to miss it. I know our producer was going to go Android and end up buying it. And at the end of the day, we knew what it was, and it still produced excitement. I think, Khan, he definitely had me nervous because I love boxers, and he was outboxing. Now, I'm gonna be honest, all right? Like, Khan throws 4 and 5 punches, but maybe 1.5 land. You guys are getting caught up in his speed, and he's not really landing flush shots. Yeah, he's making noise and throwing punches, but they're not actually. Now, did he hit Canelo? He sure did. He sure did hit Canelo, but Canelo definitely showed that he's grown, man. He cut that ring off. He was going to the body. It was a pretty good fight. I want to talk a little bit about our good friend Glenn Tapia, and his fight with David Lemieux, because obviously David Lemieux now will possibly be at least a consideration for a Canelo opponent moving forward if the Gennady Golovkin fight doesn't happen. If for whatever reason Canelo decides to vacate and say that he needs a 160-pound fight before the Golovkin, which is probably what I think is going to happen. But, he was talking pretty tough yesterday. Even Oscar was saying that weight isn't going to be an issue. Did you guys check all that out?
Yeah, I did. I saw that. But, I don't hate the fact if he wants to fight someone like David Lemieux. I mean, obviously I want to see the Triple G fight next, but I wouldn't be too upset if he went in there and he wanted to challenge himself at 160, because I do believe David Lemieux would be a challenge for him. I mean, the way that David Lemieux looked like he was sparring with someone like Glenn Tapia, and that's why I said that a couple of these fights we are way off on, but the other couple fights we were completely spot on about. I told you that Amir Khan was going to land, or he was going to steal a lot of rounds early, but then all of a sudden he was going to take that one punch. But then after that, someone like David Lemieux, the way that Lemieux, the easiest way to say is that Lemieux has speed that I don't even think that Golovkin has. Lemieux has that ability to use his waist. Maybe it was all those title boxing videos, maybe it was, his amateur record, but Lemieux has this just different factor. Maybe he's not Golovkin good, but I think Golovkin's one of those. I would say he's our generation. He's the best fighter, and he's going to be one of the best fighters in our generation. And David Lemieux, losing to him, getting knocked out, I don't think it's going to look bad 10 years from now. Someone like David Lemieux, although he's been knocked out before, I think the way he performed last night, he really shut down Glenn Tapia. There was never a moment in the Tapia fight that you thought Tapia would come into it. I will say, though, I thought Tapia deserved a little bit more. Boxing is a business of how you performed. Even if you lose, it's how you lost is how you continue in your career. And the way it kind of turned out a little bit was a little lackluster for me. I don't know how you guys feel about the stoppage. I understand the stoppage. I understand he wasn't winning a single moment of any round. But at the same time, he was in his faculties. He was there to still continue to fight. Glenn Tapia does have a punch, and you never know in this sport. So to me, I felt bad for Glenn Tapia. But at the same time, it showed me that David Lemieux was a little bit better than I thought he would be, because I knew he would win this fight, but I didn't know he would make someone like Glenn Tapia look like realistically, he looked like an idiot in the ring.
He looked a bit robotic, but let's take it out to the streets. We're going to head on over to our Skype machine first. And I think it was Fahim might be up first. Fahim, talk to us.
Yo, what's good? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, just give me my crow, man. Throw some little curry and ginger on there for the hot cake.
Hey, you know what? I got to eat some too, man, because Herrera looked bad.
Yeah.
Make it a buffet, because Teixeira lost and so did Herrera, so just keep it going.
Mario, so you don't want to confess nothing, huh? You got to.
No, I was actually just about to say in the chat, I'll wait for after the caller to finish to say all mine. I got Teixeira and Herrera too. Give me Herrera. And Corolla.
Yep, give me that for both of us. Well, it'll be a side of Crow.
We're gonna overdo it here. Go ahead, Fi. We'll get back to eating. See, the hosts suck. That's why we eat so much, Crow.
Nah, that's all I was calling for. I'm just listening, bro. I'll holler at y'all.
All right, Fi. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Fi.
Speaking of Crow, crows eat corn or are in the cornfields. Did you see that Instagram video of the stupid? Oh, no, excuse me, Lord, take that back. Of the poor girl who tried to eat the corn with the drill.
and got her hair ripped off. Oh my God, what's the matter with people nowadays? Social media is everywhere.
No, I just cringed up like, oh, and she was like, oh man, don't even look for it. That's how bad it is.
Yo, that girl got a chin on her. Yo, she might have not got punched in the face. Yeah. All of a sudden it happens, and she's like, wait a second.
Yeah,
if I got my hair ripped out, I'd have been like, what the fuck? Like I was on fire running around in circles.
Dude, not one tear. She took it like a big girl, but let me tell you, I don't know how she's gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do. Let's go back out to the streets. We're gonna go to. I believe I got no producer, but I'm sure it's right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on, brother?
Not much, fellas. Yeah. Yo, the card. I ordered it. It was cool. It was something to watch, man. I think the Herrera fight was the longest fight. Herrera led into. I didn't get a chance to get my picks in, so I ain't eating no crow. The blogs, the phone lines was fucked up last week, but I mean, it was a pretty good card overall. I like pretty much all of the fights. Herrera was getting trashed. Gomez looked pretty good. I think that was a decent fight. And Tapia, that kid needs to quit. And I'm not saying that because he lacks skill. I think he lacks whatever it is that's allowing him to even defend himself. Because Jim Lampley's making a big deal out of him. Oh, he's never been knocked down. He went out on his feet. I don't know. At 24 years old, I don't think he should be bragging about going out on his feet. He in there looking like Homer Simpson taking punches. So I don't care how ripped up he is. He's just not cut out for boxing right now. He needs to just go home and rethink his whole career. And that's not even disrespectful. That's saying so he can preserve himself as a young man. To the main event, I mean, the question now is, I kind of wouldn't mind the Lemieux fight either, but, we don't even need to see that. Canelo needs to step in the ring right now with Triple G, and we see where that fight goes. It's got to happen now. Maybe they have it at the end of the year. No interim fights because then that'll throw the whole shit off. Neither one of them can fight nobody else. They got to fight by the end of the year.
Well, all right, thanks for calling in as always, and thanks. You were on last night too, man. You're a trooper. Thanks, bro. Mario, let's before we get to another caller, really quick, my thoughts on the Herrera Gomez fight was wow, because Gomez never looked that good. I don't remember any fight that showed me that he would do that to a guy like Herrera. So is it that Gomez is finally, I guess, living up to what everyone thought he would be before, all the outside of the ring activities that led him not to, kind of live up to the hype? Or was it that Herrera is 35 and got old last night?
I don't think Herrera got old. I really don't. That's not to say that Herrera was like, the best that we've seen him. I think it was a bad performance, but he wasn't old. Listen, Gomez did a lot of things in the ring last night that were perfect against a fighter like Herrera. Didn't give him a chance to really dictate momentum. Didn't give him a chance to take tempo. He stayed on him when he needed to. He took steps back when he needed to. It was really the perfect fought fight. I didn't want to come on here and go as far as to say it was a coming out party for Gomez, but I'm going to say it. It was a coming out party for Gomez. He did all the right things, perfectly done. I think he's finally going to live up to what his potential was, but where is that potential? That'll be the question going forward.
Well, all right, let's take it out to the Skype machine here. We got Randall from Tampa. Talk to me.
Hey, fellas, man. I want to thank y'all for bringing me home last night. I was a little sleepy on the road, so when y'all did that spontaneous show, it got me over the hump. Hey, so I did get a chance to watch the fight a couple of times. I said I missed it live, like I told you last night. But what I want to say is, I think did everybody rewatch the fight?
I did. I did.
Hello?
I did 3 times.
I did not. I'm gonna say no, man. Even though I watched a bit of it, it wasn't enough. I wanted to rewatch it, but I ended up watching the Tapia again because I thought people were gonna, I don't know, for whatever reason.
That was a good assumption. But I actually watched it and scored it. I watched it 3 times, scored it twice.
Okay, well, this is what I want to say. Like, I wasn't shocked. Like I mentioned last night, I can see Khan winning early rounds because Canelo is a natural counterpuncher. So I expected Khan to win early rounds. But when I watched the fight, rounds 1 and 2, Khan didn't really land decent shots. I mean, Canelo landed a counter hook in the first round, and that was the best shot of the first round. Khan was not standing his ground. He was circling. He does too much movement that's like so unnecessary. To me, the first round was close. That was an even round to me. The second round, I say Khan squeezed the second round, but the third, fourth, fifth, that was all Canelo. Canelo started landing combinations. He threw a body shot with the right hand that knocked Khan off his feet in the third round, like 2 minutes into the third round. I was like, I don't know. I think people gave Khan too much credit for this fight. It was a mismatch fight. Khan is a brave cat. You know what I'm saying? I can't take nothing away from him. But it was a fight with a built-in excuse. Nobody expected Khan to win. And my only issue with the whole fight is that I felt that Khan, with his speed, that people would give him too much credit. And like now people are saying, oh, we're okay with Canelo fighting Lemieux and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But the real issue is Canelo need to fight Triple G next. I mean, I've been saying this for the longest. How long is Triple G going to wait around and not get the belt? I mean, my whole thing is, okay, the truth of the matter is, for all the Triple G fans, the name is bigger than unifying the division. I don't care what no one says, and that's the reason why he waited for Cotto. That's the reason why he's waiting for Canelo, because he wants the name and he wants the payday. And I don't blame him for that, but damn, when is enough enough? When is enough enough? This fight was just BS. It shows you how strong the media is. The media got behind this fight. ESPN got behind this fight. HBO pushed this fight. And we knew it was a mismatch. I mean, because Mario, am I mistaken? You picked Canelo, correct?
I did.
And you the biggest Khan fan I know. And you picked Canelo because you know it was a mismatch. So, I mean, it was entertaining. That was a hell of a knockout. That was entertaining. But I think Khan is damaged goods. I don't see where he goes from here going back down. Because first he put on muscle. He put on a little bit of muscle to go up and weight. So now he's gonna have to strip down muscle. He didn't just go up and have a beer belly. He got to strip down muscle to go back to 147. Nobody's talking about how is that gonna affect him. I mean, he got blasted. I mean, that was the worst. That was worse than Bradis Prescott. Because I mean, that was a horrible knockout, man.
Best call of the night so far. Best call of the night. I'm sorry, keep going. This is the best call of the night. Go ahead.
But it is a call that we have to stop. This is the Crow Show, which is Sunday, Randall, and you've been on. You've been burning. We got to hit the streets. There are a lot. Thank you for calling in.
Great call, Randall. Very good call.
We're going to go to 214. Listen, we got no producer today. It is Mother's Day, so only the strong survive. You hear me? That being said, when I say your area code, let us know where you're calling from and who this is. 214, you're up.
Yo, this is Class and Bound. What's up?
Class and Bound, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, so, yeah, let's, we talked about it yesterday a little bit about the whole, reaction to what's been going on. So apparently what's been going on is Canelo, Oscar De La Hoya said that, there's definitely going to be a deal with Triple G and Canelo. I definitely feel like this is going to be what leads to the fight because Canelo has never shown this kind of emotion before. Like, we saw what happened with Lara, but with Lara, when Lara went up to interrupt his post-fight interview, or the post-fight conference, it wasn't like Canelo didn't have that much, machismo going in. He was just like, oh, you want to see him fight? Okay, cool. With Triple G, it was a little bit different. It was like he was really showing some flair, and I think this fight definitely gets made in September. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm hearing a lot of like apologists here for like Khan and like I said, I was the first person, like I was saying, give Khan all the credit in the world for attempting to do this, but people are just like, they're like, oh, he won like 2 or 3 rounds, Canelo's trash, like that's stupid. I mean, he lost the fight. It was over in the 6th round. It doesn't matter if you do well 99% of the fight. If you get knocked out, the 1% of the fight that matters at the end, then you lose. I mean, there's no there's no gimmies in boxing. There's no second place award. You either win or you lose, and Khan lost. He did his best, but he lost. The same way, like, you know, we weren't like, you know, people trying to give Willie Monroe Jr. credit for doing decently against Triple G, but he lost. He lost. And so it's just like, I mean, what's there to say? Canelo did his thing, Triple G, you know, that fight's going to happen. That's all there is to say. And Glenn Tapia looked horrible, man. He looked bad. Like,
it was sad,
oh my
man.
gosh.
I felt
It's just like, it's the same thing that happened with Kirkland. It's the same thing that happened with Sorrell. Like, he doesn't move his head. He just sits there and takes punches. He doesn't defend himself, and it's frustrating to watch because, like, he's really going to get hurt. I mean, he's already hurt. But, I mean, that's all I've got for you guys. Just, you know, keep up good, good show. Thumbs up.
Yo, let me ask you as a question, though, leading off that call a little bit. Like I said, every time you see Canelo out, like, he always shows you something a little bit different. With the Austin Trout fight, he showed me head movement. With the Lara fight, he showed me that he's able to fight someone who, you know, outbox, or not outbox you, but he's able to catch you on the move. But would you be upset if he fought someone like David Lemieux? Because, you know, I understand that the Triple G fight right now is number one. That could be the biggest fight in the sport that we have right now. But with the way that Canelo is able to adapt in each fight, the way he's able to teach himself in each fight to kind of improve a little bit, I think that the Lemieux fight would be the perfect fight to lead into someone like Golovkin.
Only fair if he vacates the title, though, bro. Like, I'm just like you. I said it last night on our spontaneous show. If you didn't know, make sure you refresh your iTunes app or your TuneIn app or your Stitcher apps, or you just subscribe to us on YouTube and get notifications. But we did a spontaneous show for immediate reactions, and we had a bunch of new callers, so definitely check that out. But, you know, the point is, listen, it is what it is, bro. We got to just allow these guys to do what they got to do, man. But we can't stay stuck on it, really.
I'd rather a good fight than a big fight, if that makes any sense. I'd rather Canelo come into the ring understanding what he's going to get into himself into in a 160 weight division than just say all of a sudden. I would rather Canelo be competitive with Golovkin than to have this mega fight where we're going to have all these media around. We're going to have Mayweather-Pacquiao again. I would rather that.
James, I just got a few simple questions so we could get moving here.
Go ahead, sorry.
Do you need him to vacate the title to do that, or do you want him to fight Lemieux or Stevens? Because I like either of the two for his next fight. If not Golovkin, I like either of the two, like you. But do you want him to do that as the WBC champion, or do you want him to vacate?
I say vacate, fight 160, be a 160-pounder, fight someone that's 160. Don't do this 155 catchweight shit, because realistically, we know that Canelo, obviously, he sees what people are saying about him. We know he's a man. He knows that people are upset about him fighting at 155. Move up to 160, vacate the actual title, give it to Golovkin, and go back there and try to win that shit back, because that's what you need to do, and that's what I think he will do.
It's all about public perception. At the end of the day, as long as he drops the title and makes a significant opportunity at Triple G, that's what's going to count. They could say, oh, we haggled over weight, we haggled over money, we're not there yet, 2017 is the time. Then he fights a 160 fight. That'll be good.
That is exactly what's probably going to happen. Let's go to our favorite Skype caller, or mine's for sure, and I always say it, the one, the only, Blackface.
Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, good night to everyone listening to the live broadcast or past show in the future. First things first, I need my crow. I picked Canelo by decision.
Don't give him crow. Don't give him crow for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't get crow for picking it right but wrong. Like, he still won.
All right, okay. Well, I'm more than happy to eat it if you want to give it me at any time. So that's perfectly fine.
Did you pick Herrera?
No, I remember I didn't care about any of the fight.
Oh, yeah.
It was only that fight and Lemieux I picked. But I don't really care about any of the fights, to be honest with you. But let me just say, the best sound in boxing, I have to say, is the Mexican national anthem. And the Mexican national anthem is playing at the start of a fight. I start to get all giddy and everything. I think it's when the people are singing the national anthem, it's actually great. I actually like to hear it. I don't know what he's saying, but I like to hear it. The worst sound in boxing is Amir Khan's Pakistan slap noises. I don't know what he keeps doing, making these noises every time he throws a punch, but it's really irritating. On Box Nation, you hear that. That's all you could just hear during the fight was just him making stupid noises. It was really irritating. But besides that, I had Khan 3 rounds to 2 up before the knockout. Canelo lined that up fairly good actually. I noticed that he went to the body for a couple of rounds and Khan kind of slowed down a little bit, and he did the little pump fake where he kind of threw away the jab and then he clocked Khan with his right hand. I don't know what it is with Khan, but every time he gets like knocked out, his arms swing in the air like he's doing the Dougie or something. I think it's pretty funny. In regards to Khan, I think I'm not sure what he needs to do at this point. I would personally I would go down to 154 and maybe start again. Because if he goes down back to 147, there's loads of sharks there, and he's not going to be able to take any gimme fights at 147. I think he has to go to a new weight class, go to 154, start again, have a couple, 3-4 fights, whatever, and build your legacy up from there again. But people need to stop giving Khan credit because he's losing in the exact same manner as he always does, and he's not correcting his mistakes. Khan gets no credit for this. I don't hear people telling me, he made a step up. Yeah, he made a step up, but he's losing in the exact same fashion as he always done. He needs to correct his mistakes. He needs to work on it. He needs to do something about it because he can't keep getting knocked out like this. I don't want to see him in 20 years having speech impediments and all kind of stuff and all kind of problems with his health. In regards to Canelo, I know you're listening to the show because everyone listens to the Boxing Voice. I don't want you kneeling down next to fighters after you knock them out. I don't want you showing any type of concern. You're a killer. Don't show no remorse, no sympathy for these fighters. You need to make an example of your foes and keep knocking people out. Don't kneel next to him. Don't show no concern. Go to your corner, celebrate, and then talk shit after the press conference. In regards to Triple G entering the ring, when he entered the ring, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to get something now. Hopefully he says something. Then I realized, what the fuck was Triple G wearing? Did anyone see what he had on? He looked like he came to the arena to deliver pizzas. He had on some stupid sleeveless jacket. He had some stupid hat. I don't know what he was dressed on. I was like, this guy looks like 16 in the ring. I don't know what he was doing. But, Canelo kind of flipped the script on it because I was expecting Triple G to do something. But, Canelo did it for him. He kind of, given it was, Canelo's victory speech and things, I thought it was fairly good what Canelo did, actually.
Blackface, you had me until you said that you didn't like that Canelo was able to, or he dropped down to his knee and had some sort of concern. I will tell you right now, any day of the week, I respect you better if you respect your opponent. Gervonta Davis had me as someone that I was really high on until he started shaking and moving and giving me the fucking dap or whatever the fuck he was doing, or someone like Robert Easter who was going to dance over your body. We're not in basketball. You can hit a three-pointer and you can shake your ass all you want to do. But in boxing, when your life is on the line, I do not respect that. I respect when you calm down and you realize that the person in front of you is going to be hurt. But let me ask you a question, Blackface.
Yeah.
The way you want to keep him at 154, if he moves down to 147, we talked about Khan not even fighting a puncher at 147. Does this ruin his career? Did he move up and kind of, is he a JV level fighter that moved up to the college level or the pro level too early?
I don't know, because he keeps on. This is not the first time we've seen this. It's not the second time. It's the third time we've seen him take L's like this, and he needs to do something. This happened last night, but I would hate for him to come back to the UK, take a couple, decent fights, and then get dusted off by Brook. Because if he loses to Brook, it's technically over for him. Yeah, he can still sell out arenas and that, but his legacy will be tarnished, completely tarnished, if he comes back to 147. He just needs to rejuvenate his career, maybe just completely move out this bracket, go to 154, go higher. He has to do something at this point. But in regards to Canelo and kneeling next to his opponent and showing concern, I understand that. But Cannabis once said, we're warriors. When we go into battle, we come out winners or we don't come out at all. So that's that in regards to that. In regards to
Blackface. I thought that was your outro because you've been on for like 7 minutes, my friend, and there is just so many people on Skype today, as you can see that, and let alone the people here on the old landline at 646-478-3068. So Blackface, give us that old outro that we love so much, so that we can get on to the next caller.
Okay, let me just want to make one more point. I noticed Mario is wearing a Canelo charm bracelet. I don't know what he's doing, and he's taking it off. It's not about taking a loss. It's about how you react to it.
It's not a charm bracelet. It's a Mexico rosary bead.
Yo, where'd you get that at, though? Where'd you get that at?
My religion. At a flea
You didn't
market.
get it at Hot Topic, Mario. You got that at Hot Topic. Tell me.
Nah, man.
All right, let me get to some of these callers. Boxing MD, talk to me.
Yo, Mario, take that shit off, bro. You were typing Khan for a hot minute. You got to take that shit off on air. Come on.
I picked Canelo.
Doesn't matter at the end of the day. You didn't ride with your boy, and you know Canelo's my boy too. So you are not allowed back on the Canelo late in the game.
The bandwagon isn't letting me back on. Jesus.
They're pushing you off the train, bro.
I'm fucking with you, Mario. But I'll go quickly. My review of the card. Well, here's my controversial comment of the day, and I agree with James 100% about not dancing over a knocked out fighter. Here's the controversial comment of the day. In some cultures, it seems acceptable, a.k.a. Floyd Mayweather's gym. We all saw the 24/7. That's just how that gym culture acts. And I find it disgusting, but I come from a different – when I was in a boxing gym, that's not how we acted. So that's just how it is. And you guys can take it how you want it, but I find it very distasteful when a guy could be Pritchard Colon, who's still in a coma, by the way. Nobody's even brought his name up in a long time, but it's okay. When Amir Khan's head hits the canvas and Blackface expects him to fucking do a suck it in his face and disrespect him like that, come on, man. It's fucking disrespectful. It's disgusting. So anyways, the opening card, Curtis Stevens beat up a Brazilian. That was fine. What's his name? Gomez, right? Frankie Gomez? The second fight. Extremely talented boxer, shitty athlete. That's just how I see him. He's not in shape. He looked kind of
well said.
If he was not gassed, he would have been able to take a Herrera out there. I mean, his punch, his left hook couldn't not land. I mean, he looked very nice in that fight. He just is not a good athlete. I hope he gets it together. But
MD, who looks good against Herrera? When I talked about this fight, I said it takes someone with the volume punches. I was completely wrong in this fight, and I'll eat crow any day of the week for this fight. But let's be real. You know, I said it takes volume, it takes boxing ability. No one has made Herrera look like that. Even someone like Mike Alvarez, or all the actual legitimate Herrera fights, Herrera had never looked like that before, and that's credit to Frankie Gomez in this fight.
But I think MD is talking more about his physicalness, right, Boxing MD?
What? No, I'm giving him credit.
MD, I just want you to know you're at 2 minutes.
Let him respond, though. That's my bad, though.
No, I'm not giving him credit. I'm saying that you could tell his talent. I mean, his hands are fast. He's a smart boxer. He does the right things. He does it in spurts because, I mean, in the 7th, 8th, 9th round, you saw him huffing and puffing a little bit. And there was a point where he hurt Herrera. And a better shaped fighter would have been able to put his foot down on the pedal and get him out of there and look really nice. And put himself out there because nobody's been able to do that to Herrera. And I agree, it looked good, but yeah, so that's just my point. It's not to take away from his performance, it's more just like a constructive criticism because I'm impressed with the skills that Frankie Gomez possesses. You know, Freddie doesn't put his marbles behind an untalented fighter. You know, he has an eye for talent, and he was right with him, and what he says with him is not off put. But anyways, let me just go to the co-main event and the main event, and I'll get out of here. The co-main event, David Lemieux looked very, very good. It was a fight that he was supposed to look good. I know some people were saying that Tapia had a chance. He did it, in my opinion, and that was probably the best corner stoppage I've ever seen since I've been watching boxing. Because everybody that's been in the ring and that's been watching boxing knew what the fuck was going to happen if they let him fight. It would have been very, very, very ugly. So I'm glad that they corner stopped it when he did it. I agree with what you guys have been saying about it being a good fight for Canelo if the GGG wasn't an obligation for him to fight next. Like I said, like last night, you guys could listen to the show again about my review about how I thought Canelo did against Khan. I thought he did what he had to do perfectly. Again, Khan was not winning the fight before he got knocked the fuck out, okay? Canelo put that body work in, chop down the body, the head comes, and there it goes.
All right, later, alligator. Got to get to some other callers here, hogging up them phone lines. Let me get over here to. Oh, everybody's. Well, he's definitely gonna have something to say interesting, right? So none other than AB himself.
I know a amigo who will charge you zero and throw you a kilo. I bet in a week, bro, your pockets be stuffed like Chipotle burritos.
What's up, guys? AB here. I got a couple of good points to make. How much time do I have?
I got the clock on you. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So number one, I got all my picks right. I tweeted you. I had Stevens, Lemieux, and Canelo by KO, and then I had Gomez by decision. I'll start off with my first point was, okay, so the Canelo-Khan fight, I think Canelo beats anybody from 147 pounds to 154 pounds. Okay, people that are saying Thurman would beat him, Charlo brothers would beat him, they're not going to beat him. Okay, what's going to happen is they may win a couple rounds, and then they're going to get on their bike, and then Canelo is going to attack the body and break them down, just like he did with Lara. Okay, and with what Virgil Hunter said, and the media is saying it's great. We're putting the pressure on Canelo now. And
Did you say we? Did you say we or for pudding?
No, I said we're putting the pressure on Canelo, the fans, the media. You know what I mean? It's working. And
yo, you just sound so part of Team Golovkin. It's like we're putting the pressure.
Well, look, okay, so Canelo post-fight said 160, it's on, okay? De La Hoya said there's going to be no weight issues, okay? So this is what I think they're going to do. They're going to offer Team Golovkin a bullshit split, like 90-10, okay? Because Golovkin's team has been so focused at 160 or no fight, and Canelo's been so focused at 155, they're going to be like, I think all this time they were trying to see, it was basically, they were trying to see would Golovkin's team come down to 155. It was a negotiation tactic. You know what I mean? Because obviously, I don't think Canelo is going to, if WBC strips Canelo, it's going to be on every single Mexican newspaper, on every single Mexican talk show. Canelo is going to look really, really bad. So post-fight showed that they were going to have that fight at 160, but what they're going to do is they're going to call Team Golovkin and they're going to offer them a bullshit split. It's going to be like 90-10, and if Team Golovkin refuses, they're gonna have a way out. Me personally, I think they should take whatever split they give him, because at this point it's not about money. It's about he's gonna get that name, and he's gonna be that star. But the Lemieux fight, I just want to point out one thing, is that with the exception of Mayweather, okay, David Lemieux, okay, will probably run through everybody. Actually, I would say versus Cotto and versus Lara, that would be like a 50-50 fight. David Lemieux against Lara and Cotto would be a 50-50 fight, because Lara doesn't have the volume and the jab to keep Lemieux off him. And we know that the way that Golovkin fought Lemieux, you need to triple.
We love you, but we must move on, my friend. We must move on. But I don't know. He's not the only one that seems to be overrating Lemieux for this performance. And I love Glenn Tapia. He's right around the area, but he was very robotic. He had no punch output, and he was blocking with a high guard that was allowing David Lemieux to land numerous lead left hooks all night.
Yo, but realistically, when you talk about someone like Eruslani Lara and you say he doesn't have a jab to keep someone like David Lemieux off it, you're bugging. You've never seen Eruslani Lara fight in your entire life, because that's what he survives off of. He survives off of that lead left hook, or the lead left hand. He also survives off the jab. And when you talk about someone like Triple G getting offered 90-10 in a fight with Canelo, 90% to 10% could still be a career high payday that he's ever gotten before. I think someone like Triple G would understand that, and he would take that fight, because it would still be more money than he's made before. Because realistically, what would Amir Khan get? Like $13 million? Crazy like that?
Bernard Hopkins said it the best over the weekend. Listen, all great fights someone had to, sacrifice. Someone had to make a sacrifice. Khan wanted a super fight, and he sacrificed by moving up. AB, if you're watching on, YouTube, look, that was more than enough, and you got plenty of time, and it's on there to show. So we're gonna go out to the Windy City. Mario, your girlfriend keeping you busy, huh? Chicago, talk to
these
me.
Twitter con haters are.
Yo, what up, this Santa?
Oh my Jesus, this guy with all these phones. Producer, mark this one down.
The same phone, man.
All right, I don't know. Well, then my producer's slipping.
All right, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers listening. I pretty much got all my picks right. I picked Stevenson. I kind of figured he was going to win. I didn't know too much about the guy he was fighting. I thought Frankie Gomez looked good, but I don't know how much. I'm going to give him his credit, but Herrera was coming off a long layoff, and that might have had something to do because he looked offbeat, like he didn't look like himself, So, but Frankie Gomez looked good, so I give him his credit. I knew Lemieux was going to stop Glenn Tapia. I was never high on Glenn Tapia. I don't know why so much. I don't know why so many people believe in this guy. I don't think he's never gonna be like a really good fighter. And Lemieux is the real deal. As far as Khan, Canelo, I knew Canelo was gonna win, but I was rooting for Khan. Like I wouldn't have been mad if Khan was won. I was going for the underdog. I thought Khan boxed a good fight. I thought he fought a good fight. As the rounds, he got later in the rounds, I felt like he was getting a little too comfortable. He was staying in the pocket a little bit too long, and I felt that he was gonna get caught with a big shot, and that's what happened. I thought Canelo looked bad, in my opinion. I know a lot of people always say, "Oh, he learned from the Floyd fight." He still doesn't know how to cut off the ring. He's still chasing guys around. I think he needs to study tape on Triple G and learn how to cut off the ring, Yeah, and it was, like I said, it was a good fight. And that's another thing I want to say because nobody brought this up. Because I had Khan winning all 5 rounds. I could see it go 4-1. I could see you giving Canelo one of the rounds, but the judges had Canelo up. One of the judges had him up 4-1. That's crazy. And another one had him up 3-2.
Agreed. That was atrocious. You're complete. This is the best call. Mari, you said the other a couple calls ago was the best call. This is completely correct because I had Amir Khan up 4-1 in this fight, and the fact that I saw the judges had someone like Canelo up means to me that they were filling in the scorecards before the round even ended.
We knew that was going to happen.
And yeah, so Khan never had a shot to win this fight, and that's what I'm saying. Like Canelo, when you fight Canelo, you fight him and the judges. He always has shady cards. When he fought Floyd, they gave him a draw. He always has shady cards, and that's what because I heard Ness one show say, "Oh, what makes you think he's gonna duck Triple G because he fought Lara, he fought Trout?" The difference is like if Canelo know if it's a close fight and it goes to the cards. He got judges in his back pocket, but if he fights Triple G, it might not go to the scorecard. So that's the difference. And, I just want to see him. I mean, he don't have to fight Triple G. I just want to see him fight a real middleweight. It could be Lemieux, it could be Stevenson at a real weight, at a middleweight, not at 155. So, and that's about it. That's all. That's my call.
And it's Stevens, but
Great call. Doesn't bump Randall, but probably second best call. Good job.
Nah, you got the best. Don't fret.
He didn't do
Don't
that bad.
duck me, son.
He didn't do that bad on time.
Ooh, never mind. He might got it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got the best call now because he did that quick.
He kept it under AB time. Let's see. We got to go back out to Skype. There's a lot of callers today. Wow. Who do we got here? We got, who was first? Liam, talk to us.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up?
Not as drunk today.
Liam, are you on that brand? Are you on that brandy swag right now?
Are you in Vegas?
I was. I wish I was.
I love Liam. Yo, me and Liam talk on Twitter all the time and DM and shit. I love this man.
Right, so basically, you got. You said earlier that Khan's not going to find it hard to get down to weight. I don't reckon he will because you've got Ramadan coming up, so he's going to have to fast in daytime for a whole month. So he'll get down to 147 easy.
Yo, it sounds like you're fighting some Power Ranger putty over there. What's going on?
He's going to get knocked out by all the big punches at 147. With the W.
Liam, I'm sorry, buddy. You got a horrible connection. Horrible. Texas 903, talk to us.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
We're chilling.
Oh, yeah. I just want to say I'm glad Khan got knocked the fuck out. I was been praying for this day for a long time. The fuck got on my nerves. And one thing that really bothered me was in the build-up, Khan kept on saying how he would drain himself to 147 and all this bullshit. First thing in the post-fight, he said, what did he say? What the fuck did he say? He made an excuse already. So why the fuck he lost? Same thing with Virgil Hunter. So I'm glad they got knocked the fuck out. And shit, Canelo Triple G. Hopefully they come to Dallas, Texas. I'm there.
Well, all right, brother. What's your name? It's first time caller, right?
Yeah.
What's your name?
T.O.
T.O., man, thanks for calling in, brother. You know, tradition around here is that we give you a first-time caller intro. I don't know if you want to take it now that you've been done with your call, basically.
I'll go ahead and take it. Shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Well,
That's when you say, yo, you need enthusiasm.
That's when you're supposed to jump in.
Right there. That's when you.
But all right, brother. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. The bumps and bruises are over. Now you're going to be a second-time caller, and it'll be all uphill from here. I mean, downhill from here. Excuse me.
Yo, pass it over to New Jersey, where Enrique Church is at.
I know, right? Let's hear what he's got to say here.
What's up, man? Yeah, I just want to say I saw the fight too.
Stay focused, stay working my dad.
I saw the fight too.
It's difficult to fight, and I'm not looking for it, man.
I saw the fight too.
I think you accurate.
Yes. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you. Applaud to the Boxing Voice last night. Great spontaneous show. The numbers were high. I read all the comments. I want to apologize specifically for interrupting the calls. I'm not going to apologize for talking ever. I did not go to boxing college. I do watch TV. I'm the guy in front of that TV watching boxing. So I'm happy to be on this show. And right now I have a voice, and I will use it. And I do not care about anybody's opinion. And you could do the same thing by calling that number, right, Ness?
Enrique, never apologize for being you. Never apologize. Period.
No, I'm gonna just for the interruption of the call. It was disrespectful, and I apologize. I learned my lesson by all those negative comments, which were great. I took them as criticism. So anyway, back to what I do is watch boxing. I sort of had that fight in the past several times, and excuse me, he always had a controversial loss. But last night, this Frankie Gomez guy, who was my first time watching, he just looked fascinating. And now,
Wait, was it really your first time ever watching?
Ever. I was even surprised that he was part of the wild card gym. So yeah.
People say he's not a casual.
Yes, I mean I chose Herrera, so I'll eat a crow with hot sauce, habanero sauce, just for Mexico night, you know. I did not know any of Triple G's opponents in the past either, you know, except for Lemieux. And then saying that I would be, if Canelo was to fight Triple G, I would be happy because of the scorecards. I think Triple G is gonna go in there and want to go for a knockout, not care, and that would be a hell of a fight. And I know that you know the Golden Boy team knows that, and Triple G's the biggest threat. Lemieux's another threat. So if Lemieux was to fight him, I would be happy to see that fight too. If it were pay-per-view, it would be an excitement for me. Lemieux has the highlight reel, except for that one loss, right? Or that's two losses. But he looked damn good, man. These guys look good. And Canelo-Khan, Canelo looked great, and we knew that. I knew that. Everybody knew that. A lot of people were saying, oh, I'm going for Khan, but I think Canelo's going to win. I was that same guy, and I was using probability. There's probability. It is probable that Khan could look amazing, and he did for 4 straight rounds, but his button was pressed, and that button was real easy. So I would give credit to Canelo. I would give, and this is bad because I know people throw backlash at it. Oh, I'm giving Khan credit for looking amazing. I think any welterweight would have did the same shit to Canelo and made him miss shots like that, and he would have to figure them out. And because they're lighter guys, when that one button is pressed, yeah, they're gonna hit the canvas. But so yeah, I'm one of those guys at home in front of the TV saying Canelo should fight Triple G. Khan did step up. I applaud them. I appreciated the post interview from Virgil Hunter as well as I did Canelo's. But nah, there's nowhere to run now. There's either who's that, Lemieux or Triple G, the threat, the real monster at 160, the end.
And we're gonna go to Skype.
Damn, you couldn't even say, "Oh, great, casual, that was dope."
Cameron,
give me some confidence, bro.
Yo, what's going on? How's it going?
We're here, man. We're here.
What up, Cameron?
Casual wants some confidence booster.
Yo, I love Cameron's call last week. Cameron, you did a really good job last week. I went back and listened to the show. It was a great call. So I'm expecting a big call right now.
Well, I just want to say, anybody who picked Mauricio Herrera needs to take that pro tonight. I thought Frankie Gomez was terrific. I think it was you, Mario, who said that you thought Herrera got made to look old, and I think it remains to be seen if he did get old or whether it was the fact that Frankie was that good. I think it was just the case that Frankie was that good. Herrera's usually the awkward fighter who sets the tone of the fight, whereas Frankie done that, and no one's ever done that to Herrera. I picked Herrera, so give me the crow for that. I'm not going to really say anything different about last night's fights that hasn't been said already, so I want to quickly say something off topic. I watched the Japanese card earlier on. I'm not sure if either of you lot saw it, but Naoya Inoue defended his super flyweight titles, and the guy is a future sensation in terms of pound-for-pound status. He's offensively brilliant. He has a nice variety of shots. He mixes up his left hooks and straight right extremely well. Very smooth footwork. He's always in the right angles to land his shots and gets out of range quickly. I still think he's pretty raw, only having 10 fights or so, being a 2-weight champion. I think if he fights Gonzalez right now, he'll get counted fairly comfortably because he's still fairly reckless with his flurries. He's left that season defensively, but he's obviously one for the future. And what I like about him is he won the fight so one-sided, but he was still unsatisfied with his performance. He's so young, and he's always wanting better for himself, which I think is what we need to be seen in someone like that. And he had a hand injury, which seems to be reoccurring in recent fights. And some Japanese fighters have never had the stamina to have the work rate that he does. So he's definitely one to watch out for. I think he's one that casual you should look out for as well. And a question to end my call on for you guys is, where does Curtis Stevens go after that win last night? Because that was a crazy finish.
Well, I will say that, man,
Canelo option.
Yeah, exactly. I said before the show, or I said last week's show that Patrick Teixeira should be an option in terms of, me thinking he could beat Canelo, but I said he wouldn't be from a casual stamp. But Curtis Stevens absolutely 100% put himself into that picture. It's an obviously it does not have depth to that picture, so that's why. But yeah, man, listen, he's back into the player realm. I do want to address really quickly. I posed the question. Ness and I both posed the question: was it Herrera getting old or Gomez looking good? And I actually thought Gomez looked good. I think he came into his own. The only thing I was saying was I thought Herrera fought a bad fight. I don't think he got old. I just thought that he could have fought a better fight and looked better. So.
Now, Cameron, who was that you said I should look out for? You there? Who's that, Mario? He said casual should look out for.
Well, you talk about the new brothers. That's who I think he
New
was.
brothers?
Talking about the flyweight in new.
Yeah, he was talking about the new brothers card. So I'm assuming he was saying one of them.
Right.
He from Atlanta.
Yo, what's up?
What up? What up?
Remember I called in Friday. I said that Amir Khan gonna get James Kirkland. The difference is he didn't spin when he went down. The fight was predictable. I had a feeling that Amir Khan was going to get the early rounds because Canelo needed to figure out his speed. But once he figured it out, he landed those body punches. It was all over. At one body punch, Amir Khan host. That's all I had to say, man. Quick call. Let other people talk.
All right, D, short and sweet. Back at Skype. Let me get Ash better.
What's going on, Des? What's going on? What's up, fellas?
Chilling. Talk to us, brother.
I thought, like I told you, man, there was a cherry pick waiting to happen, bro. I don't know why everybody got all pumped up for a Lopez Henry, another Lopez fight. It was ridiculous, man. But it was ridiculous. Damn. All right, it was ridiculous, but I did like what Stevenson did. You know what I'm saying? I think Golden Boy was stupid putting a veteran like Stevenson, with that young prospect. It was just straight slaughter. Tapia was washed up. I would rather saw Lemieux fight Sorio, the dude that beat Tapia. But they don't like putting hard work in. They like giving him the easy work. But understand because he just came off that brutal knockout with Triple G, so that's understandable. But I don't see Canelo fighting Triple G at middleweight. But I would love to see Canelo go up to stop stunting and go to 154 and take on one of them Williams or one of them Charlo brothers. Let's see that happen on Boo Boo Andrade. You know what I'm saying? And, let them really get exposed. Them boys not gonna run. They're gonna stand right there in front of them, especially Jamal Charlo. I can't wait till that Trout fight. And then, I'm glad I'm not. I can't believe y'all not talking about the $1 billion fight, dude.
Who's that?
What's going on with that? The $1 billion fight, Mayweather McGregor.
Oh, come on, seriously.
Come on.
Man, McGregor just texted him and said that the fight's finna go down. What y'all talking about, man?
That ain't a 9-figure fight.
Yo, I'm not talking about that garbage until they announce it, man.
That's kind of bullshit. That's kind of prejudice shit you doing, dude.
How's that prejudice?
I want to talk about Mayweather, dude, and McGregor.
I'll talk about Mayweather when he announces that he's fighting Danny Garcia, but why am I going to talk about him fighting a UFC fighter? Come on.
Exactly, Ash better.
I'm talking about the biggest fight of the year that's going to bring all fans.
To who? To who?
Of the
Not
year.
to me.
McGregor
Not to me. I'm a boxing fan.
Hey, Ash
I'm a boxing fan.
Ash better. Listen, that's exactly why we created the on-demand feature. That
Exactly.
is a topic that obviously you feel enthusiastic about. So head on over to theboxingvoice.com/on-demand and we'll do whatever it is that you like. Don't you worry about it. We're going to get to some other callers, though. And when McGregor and Mayweather sign, you best believe TBV is going to review it, preview it, and talk about it. But until then, we'll leave that fantasy in that category.
Yo, and as an Irishman, fuck Conor McGregor. Just stop that bullshit. I don't want to see this fight because we're talking about chess versus checkers. Anyone who's ever been in the ring before. When you fight someone that's in MMA, they're 25% boxing. When you fight someone that's 100% boxing, you're going to get outboxed. I say Conor McGregor lose to a boxing match against someone like Andre Berto. Andre Berto knocks out Conor McGregor. I don't want to talk about that fight. And it hurts me that this fight's even being talked about.
Yo, but I don't even understand why would Ash better want to pay for a pay-per-view versus Conor McGregor when he just got, I don't even know what happened. I know Nick Diaz beat him up, though. So why does it matter? Anyway, he did mention cherry pick, right? And that's something that, us fans use in chat rooms, in forums, on Twitter, and things like that. But am I a hater if I'm bringing up the fact that Jim Lampley is now calling Miguel Cotto a cherry picker live on HBO in front of the world? Now, when they wanted him to fight Sergio Martinez, now he's saying he cherry-picked Sergio Martinez. I mean, it's ridiculous what they would do to big Golovkin up. And look, Golovkin is great. Why do they have to keep putting everyone down to big up Golovkin? I don't get it. Am I the only one that noticed that? Did you not see that interview when he was like, and to the right of me is this man who, whatever. But before they panned the camera to Golovkin, it was like haterade on Cotto, talking about Cotto fought a one leg. And yeah, us as hardcores, we can say that. But I mean, isn't he supposed to be different? Like,
Yo, for a man who's never been in the ring, Jim Lampley sounds punch drunk. I used to love Jim Lampley, but the more as time progresses, when I see a man cry because someone like Manny Pacquiao lost a decision, or I see a man cry because Pacquiao might be in his last fight, you can kind of you could smell the biasness in him. And I used to love Jim Lampley the way he is, but the more I watch Jim Lampley, the more I disbelieve in him, because I don't know how many times, I'm not the only one, everyone knows he see it, he'll be like, oh, big right hand by Miguel Cotto, blah blah blah, but it wasn't a right hand. Someone like Jim Lampley, he's not getting better with age. He's getting more biased. He's getting more sour, and it's disappointing me to see how he is. Period.
I want to say something. That's why I like that Roy Jones is in that corner on that panelist, because he then gives you the fighter's perspective, and Jim Lampley questions him and he corrects it, and it sounds great, and it makes Lampley look like shit.
Lampley, listen, let's not pretend like Lampley's not one of the best to ever do it, and he's still not the best. The problem isn't that he's not a great boxing mind. He's one of the best boxing minds that we have today. The problem is he's a company man. He's a company man, and he's been a company man. We're not going to pretend like this is new. Even last night during the fight with Khan, did y'all hear what he was saying about it takes more than fast hands to be Floyd Mayweather? I mean, he was shitting on Khan at the lowest point of his career, or maybe his lowest point, but one of the lowest points of his career. It was a bad look. And why? Because Khan's bye-bye. Khan's gone. He's not an HBO guy. That was a one and done. He's gone, so he can say whatever he wants about him and keep it real. So at the end of the day, it doesn't surprise me that they got Golovkin and they're going to build him as much as they can.
Lampley favors favoritism over logic right now, and that's what's disappointing me about him, because he's on the biggest stage there is, period, pay-per-view, and he talks the way he does, and it's really disappointing me.
All right, let me get out to some callers. We're going to go to Columbus, Ohio. Jay Will, talk to us.
Yo, what's up?
What up?
Yeah, oh yeah, I gotta start first off, man. Not impressed at all with what Canelo did. I mean, Khan wasn't pitching the shut like how I guess y'all was saying earlier. Like I guess Mario was saying earlier, I should say. Oh yeah, plus I forgot earlier. Mario was saying Khan was the best welterweight, man. That's craziness. I mean, I think Spence, Thurman, and especially Porter probably would have fared better, because Porter's just naturally a bigger dude, bigger and stronger dude. I think Blackface kind of nailed it earlier with how Amir Khan was, losing in the same fashion. That's, definitely, man. I don't see too much improvement that he did as far as, trying to, box a little bit more intelligently. The one thing, man, I guess I want to say about Canelo, man, it's just, I'm getting tired of it. I mean, he's been fighting at catchweight since, 2013? 3 years straight. He hasn't fought at any regulated weight class. I mean, and the one thing I noticed that his team has kept him away from punches too. Like, he ain't, when he fought a legit puncher, I guess the most legit puncher he fought is James Kirkland. We all know that James Kirkland wasn't going to win that fight. Just, he wasn't doing nothing prior to that fight anyway. So if you really think about it, he really ain't fought no for real puncher. And at the end of the day, man, I was kind of feeling the trainer Virgil Hunter or whatever. It's kind of saying, it's time for Canelo to step up. It's time for him to dare to be great. At the end of the day, he needs to do the same thing as far as like the Floyd versus Corrales, the Ray versus Hagler, Roy versus, going up to the heavyweights. Ward trying to go fight Kovalev. And then, what Boxer MD just said the other night, man. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not done yet. What Boxer MD said the other night, just today, first of all, he said Triple G's by far the best fighter there is, which to me doesn't make any sense, because his record So I mean, he's hot, but he ain't proven. There's a difference between being hot right now and being proven. Andre Ward is proven. That's a difference. You know, his record shows that he's proven he's a legit, you know, great talent. You know, from what we see, Triple G definitely got the possibility to be a great talent, but he ain't proven yet. You know, and he ain't. Let me tell you, so he ain't even stepped up to a different weight class like Andre Ward did, and took out the #1 contenders like Andre Ward did. But he's bounds and leaps away, way farther better than Andre Ward. And then he wants to touch on some old. This little last comment. There's only certain fighters from a certain culture that dance over people while they knocked out and all this, that, and the third. Well, I know the only fighters I know that really get caught cheating with loaded gloves is Mexican fighters. So I mean, we can point fingers, but you know, two fingers are always gonna be pointed back at you, and that's my call. And that's it.
Yo, real quick, it's not just a certain culture that dances over fighters. Look at someone like Pris Nassim Muhammad. He did the same shit. It has nothing to do with culture. It's something to do with class. And there's a certain class that I don't agree with, period.
Well, listen, I'll tell you real quick. I do want to comment at the very beginning of his call. You talked about you're tired of Canelo's, 155 pound. But if you look at where he's fought James Kirkland, a guy who was a career junior middleweight and really was never even a full middleweight, or taking full middleweight fights. Then you had Cotto, who, let's be honest, that was him that won it at 155. He was much better off at that. And then Khan, it still favors him not fighting at full 160. So it's not like he's taking advantage of the opponents he's taken. I mean, yes, we want him to move up to 160 if he's going to fight at middleweight and he's going to have a title, but the opponents were there.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Who tested Canelo? Who made Canelo great? What victory?
I think Erislandy Lara was his best win to date.
His best win, but that was a flaky win.
It absolutely was, but I can't help but remember a conversation I had with Austin Trout. It was off camera. It was me and him just sitting and chilling, talking on an Iron Boy fight. And he always told me that it's the punches that you don't see coming that hurt the most. You might have someone that's in front of you that's a bruiser, like our Marcos Maidana.
Right.
You might have specifically was talking about someone like Canelo. He was talking about, like, when you know there's power in front of you, you're not shocked about the power. It's when the power comes and you're not ready for it. So someone like Erislandy Lara, to me, is defining victory for Canelo Alvarez. I had him losing that fight 100%. I honestly, and when I say 100%, I don't mean like he blew out the fight, but I did have Lara winning that fight, and I think Lara is a special talent that doesn't get as much recognition as he should. But that fight he had, he learned so much from. It doesn't matter how the fight turned out. It's where he is today. And someone like when he fought Erislandy Lara, he learned so much. And that's why I want him to fight a David Lemieux before he fights someone like Gennady Golovkin, because I would rather the good fight than the big fight.
All right, Matt, talk to me. Luzzy. Luzzy.
Luzinator.
All right, Mr. Nunca.
Hey, what's going on, Ness?
What's going on, brother?
All right, man. So cool. Look, something about being a hardcore fan just makes us bitter as people sometimes, right? So I'm going to start this by being positive, man. Number one, I saw your shit last night on YouTube. You got like 200,000 views, man. So I was like, props to you, because I remember you calling in on the Boxing Voice like 8 years ago. So, I mean, for a spontaneous show.
The Boxing Truth.
The Boxing Truth. I'm sorry. The Boxing Truth with Ricardo and
Lois.
Ricardo Lois. So, man,
and
it's like
John Chavez.
Yeah, man. So, shit, good for you, number one. So, let's be positive.
Yo, this is an old head.
That was old school. I remember him calling in, and he'd give all the roll call. So, I was like, man, 200. How many views did you get spontaneously, or you guys as a whole? That's pretty good to see how far shit's just come, right?
Yeah.
And as a props to Golden Boy, even though we knew who was gonna win. At least they tried putting on a good card from top to bottom. So I guess I had me compare boxing to when I remember hearing about your guys' calls 8 years ago to where we are now. At least they're trying to make shit better. Would you say from 8 years ago where it was nothing on an undercard?
Definitely, absolutely.
Right. Number two.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, back in the day, Don King had some great undercards. It's
from the mid 2000s of boxing.
It's cyclical, man. It's kind of like a cycle. It's always going to be good and bad.
Right. Well, that as a whole, it was a pretty good card. We had Stevens, we had Herrera, we had who's the other fight we're missing? Mario Lemieux, Dave Lemieux. It was a pretty decent card from top to bottom. And lastly, Khan at least attempted to step up, but it shows why weight classes matter, man. I think it's easy for us to say, hey, well, we're expecting him to get knocked out. But it's that thing that makes fighters great to say, fuck it. I'm going to get knocked out, and I'm going to come back and try. Name one fight he's been in that's boring. I don't think he loses any luster by going down to 147 pounds. And he made an emotional outburst because he was emotional. Dude, he got knocked out. Say what you want about Virgil Hunter. As people, I'm sure they care about their fighters, man. And to see a guy that you just trained get, knocked out like that must mean something to him. So let's just keep it rolling. And, yeah, I'm on the same thing. Canelo will avoid Golovkin. And this bullshit at 155 pounds, I'm Latin myself. The Mexican media is finally catching on to go, there's some pussy shit that he's pulling, because they were all up in Floyd's business for doing the same shit, which sucked, and they're giving him a little bit of a pass now. But I think it is starting to get under his skin, because the casual fans starting to realize, hey man, you're the machismo culture, you're this and that, because I read the stuff in Spanish, and now it's not looking like he is such a tough guy by making him drain down to weight. But he'll do that for one or two more fights. I don't see that fight being made in September. I really don't, man. I hope I'm wrong.
I agree.
Get made this year.
Agree.
I'll make up some excuse. That's it.
Well, Mr.
Very good call.
Calling in.
Very good call.
Alfredo, you can do it.
Virgil Hunter, man. Virgil Hunter's always been some sort of father figure kind of guy to all his fighters. The way that he embraced Amir Khan, and even the way that he defended him, it was like father-like. Enrique, did you catch that part?
Yeah, I commented on it, man. That was very, very interesting part and entertaining as well. I love Virgil Hunter now more than ever because of what he did, as well as Khan.
And if you're a fighter, I think you hear that and you think to yourself, if I go to Virgil, I'm going to be loved, I'm going to be respected, I'm going to be cared for.
Yeah, I can't deny that. Mike Jerry, talk to us. What you think of them fights? Or that knockout?
Man, the knockout was crazy, man. I watched it with my wife last night, and her jaw dropped. It was crazy, man. But then again, like y'all preached and a lot of TVV callers preached, we knew that was going to happen. But one thing that was compelling is what Canelo said after it, and how when he knocked out Amir Khan, he dropped to his knees, and I thought that was man, I was like, damn, I had a lot of respect for Canelo after that. I was like damn, I was like that. I got a lot of respect for him for doing something like that. Then when he went on to speak about Gennady Golovkin, I think it's time for him to step up and test himself. I don't think he's gonna win the fight, because I don't think he has stamina, nor do I think he has the power to compete with this guy. But then again, I wouldn't want HBO to put on a quality pay-per-view event, because this is 2 months in a row where I spent $140, and this fight was over at 9 o'clock when it's supposed to be over at 11 on the West Coast. And the Pacquiao fight and that stuff like that. So I really hope they make their next pay-per-view a quality pay-per-view and that stuff. Big ups to Amir Khan. He did something a lot of fighters aren't willing to do, which is go up to another weight class and fight the top fighter. No hesitation, no nothing. He went up there and he came up short. And I respect him more to even come out with videos after being knocked out. He giving the props to Canelo. That's a stand-up individual when it came to that fight. People may have their dislikes with Amir Khan and whatnot, but tell me what other fighter is doing what he did. There's not a lot. Big up to Canelo, man. I hope he
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, would you be upset, like you were talking about, not being upset or not being happy with the pay-per-view? Would you be upset if someone like Canelo fought Curtis Stevens, and we got David Lemieux on the undercard for a pay-per-view?
I don't want to see Curtis Stevens. Big ups to him. I almost put a bet on him last night, but I didn't do it. But I should have. But if he's not going to fight Gennady Golovkin, he needs to fight David Lemieux next. He needs to fight somebody. He needs to fight someone like that. Someone basically that can nullify his power. And that's the same thing I want to see with Gennady Golovkin. I want to see him fight someone that can nullify his power. That's what's so compelling about Mayweather. He fights people that when he fights someone, because they're so big, they nullify his power. Now he has to go to something different. That's what I want to see with Canelo. That's what I want to see with Triple G. I want to see Canelo fight. Maybe I want to see him fight someone in the 154 class, but he's such an awkward position right now because he's at 25. He's the biggest pay-per-view star right now in the game and that stuff like that, and he's only 25 years old. Who can he fight to where he could get good pay-per-view numbers? There's really none.
Mike Jerry.
There's not many out there.
Got to cut you, player. That's 5:30 already. Let me get to Skype. We got Scorsese. Talk to me.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Loud and clear, brother.
I don't know if like y'all talk, I get an echo, so I'll try to run through mine and let y'all just come on the back end somewhere if you want. But I'm gonna start in England. I think Manchester. That shit look fishy over there. When I think of a guy punching himself out, I don't think of a 135-pound guy, and I think of a guy who's swinging and he hitting nothing but like the air. This dude was landing at least somewhere. And then next thing you know, the other kid, he wasn't even working the body to get him tired. He was just like letting him punch, like he knew about this shit. And I keep saying this Eddie Hearn dude, like I don't know, he seemed a little fishy over there. It might not have been him, but bro, that dude just like went from 100 to -100. He didn't skip 0. He didn't go to 50 first, then get to 0. He went straight to -100.
You're talking about Corolla Barroso, right?
Yes.
Okay.
After 4 rounds, yeah, because I didn't mention that. Good pickup right there, but yeah, and Corolla was a heavy underdog, so it just looked nasty to me. It looked very nasty. Corolla looked like he knew, hey, he about to tie out right here. And as soon as I see it, all I gotta do is hit the body, and it looked like they just set all that shit up like his water or something. And then think about it, this Spanish dude, I bet he didn't even get no interview after the fight. Who gonna listen to him? They probably didn't even have no translator around him the whole fight. He could have been complaining. Nobody never know. I want to see what he got to say sometime after the fight, whenever he get back home and some articles come out, because it looked fishy over there. But about the Canelo, I ain't gonna talk about the fight because I broke that down. Everybody else did perfect, and I don't want to talk about Tapia and none of them. Oh yeah, Wassam, you crazy. Frankie Gomez is not strong enough to fight with Earl Spence. There you have it. That right there. But as far as Canelo, I feel like he's doing more disservice to the guys at 154 pounds than Triple G overall. He just got the belt a fight ago. So he's been doing them a disservice for 2 years now. At 154, Triple G just getting this like, oh, he's supposed to be fighting me because he at 160 got a belt. So what I would like to see is what James said. You drop the belt because he can still have an excellent resume from 54 to 60 to wherever he wants. I don't mind 55 as long as he ain't playing belts with it because I don't give a shit about belts. I care about healthy fighters being in good fights. And I think anybody can make 54 be healthy at 55. Not so much at 160, but I want him to drop the belt. Because I don't want to see nobody come from 54, 55 who struggled with 47-pounders go right up and fight Triple G. That's not a competitive fight in my opinion. Triple G got way more better options. It's a money thing, but then you just tell him Canelo sacrifice himself for somebody else, and that's crazy when he can have a great resume fighting in competitive fights versus very good opposition. So Triple G would be there. I just want to drop them belts. And Amir Khan, boy, them memes, boy, one of them things looked like he was struggling with a bench press. I promise to God, this is the funniest shit I ain't seen in a while. I'm so proud of Amir Khan. He completed the cycle of getting knocked out every way you can be knocked out. He missed the 10 count. He missed the stand at 8 with the Colombian. He got knocked out on his feet versus Danny. And last night, he took the eternal sleep. So he completed the cycle. I am proud of him. Good job, Amir. That's my call.
Well, all right. Thanks for calling in. And I'm over here looking for the culprit, and it was him with the bad audio, right? As soon as he gone, that whole vacuum finished. Let me get to some other callers here. 310, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from hell.
All right, just listen.
310 gone.
Slug, talk to me. Slug from Baltimore.
Yo, Ness, what's going on?
What up? What up?
Yo, what's up, Ness?
Talk to me.
Oh man, ordered that fight last night, man. Had ringside Robbie right here beside me, and had to shut his ass up. But damn, man, Curtis Stevens surprised the shit out of me. I would have bet some money on that fight. I saw a night of fight cards where they tried to bring in the new young lions to take out the old lions, and it didn't quite work out all that, except for that Herrera fight. I don't know what was going on with Herrera, man. But Freddie Gomez, you know, he neutralized Herrera the whole fight. Herrera was flat-footed the whole fight, and you know he was just getting tagged, man. He got tagged, outboxed, beat up, but you know they kept bringing up the fact that he'd been out of the ring for 302 days. So I don't know if that was a big factor in him, in his performance last night. But I was not used to seeing Herrera fight like that. I was gonna actually bet on him to win that fight, and bet on Curtis Stevens to lose that fight. Because I thought that little Mexican kid was going to tear the fall off him, by being tall and long like that. But now Curtis Stevens came in there and turned the tables and sent the kid out on the stretcher pretty much almost. And Glenn Tapia, man, I think he needs to just go ahead and retire. And, because his mind is not there. His mind is not on boxing. It's not, and he's not in the ring. And you can talk about it the way he performed last night. Because David Lemieux just basically had a sparring match last night with this kid, man. And it looked bad. If it wasn't for the ropes, he would have been sitting in press row. And, for the main event, man, Khan, what can I say, man? He had a lot of courage going in there, and I like the way he waved goodbye to the fans on his way down to the top match. The way he waved his hand. But, I'm sure his fans appreciated that. And, I think Triple G should go ahead. I think they should go ahead and get that fight done by the end of the year. And, it don't matter if Triple G give up the belt or not. They still gonna make the fight happen. I don't give a shit about no belt. Having a big old conversation about that. Because it really don't matter. As long as they fight, I don't give a shit, to tell you the truth. But yeah, that's my take on the card, man. But I had Khan. Only had Khan winning 2 rounds out of the first 5. After that, he just pretty much got neutralized by that right hook. Canelo started throwing to the body and cutting off the ring because the first 2 rounds did pretty good, and Canelo, after the first 2-3 rounds, he figured him out. And, he threw that fake jab, fake left-hand jab and caught him with the right. And I thought Khan wasn't going to sit there in front of him, but he did, and he got caught. So,
all right, Slug.
To the fans.
Thanks for calling in, brother. We got a bunch of people here, and you definitely got the burn. We got to get to some other callers. I want to ask everybody that's watching on YouTube, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. It's a Mother's Day show. Show some love that we showing some love. Because me and Mario and James and Enrique, we got moms too that want our attention. Don't you, Mario? Shit. I guess not.
I
Let me
do.
get the
No,
JP
I
the
do.
politician. JP. JP. All right. Houston 832. 832. Talk to me.
What's up?
What's going on?
Yeah,
Who's
really?
this?
Black James Bond.
Black James Bond. All right, brother. Talk to us.
Yeah, I called in the show y'all had when the fight was first announced, and I was disgusted and upset about this when I heard it the first time. Watching the HBO shows and the face-off, I kind of started feeling Khan a little bit, but I had to use my brain on this one. I picked Canelo to win by knockout. I said 9th round, but it was sooner than expected, but I did expect Khan to be winning on the cards when it did happen, so I'm halfway there, you know? But what's the deal with everyone talking about Canelo versus Lemieux, but Lemieux is supposed to be a bum when he fights Triple G. Now they want to see Canelo versus a bum. I don't get it. It's like a contradiction. Is he a bum or is he not a bum? Or Stevens, he's a bum when he fights Triple G, but now he's not a bum for Canelo. So anybody that's saying Canelo is going to be able to get with Triple G, they're a fanboy, they're delusional. Everybody know what happens. It's not a problem if Canelo fights Triple G. I don't have a problem with that he doesn't want to fight him. Give the belt up, let Triple G do what he want to do his thing at middleweight, and it's all good. But if you're going to hold the belts, you got to fight the man. And it's that simple. Mario and James, I don't know what the hell they be talking about. Unless you're the only one that kind of got some sense. And I don't get the, I don't get these guys, man. It's very simple. Why would you want to see Lemieux versus Canelo after Triple G just smashed him and everyone say he a bum? James and Mario were talking shit about that fight with Golovkin and Lemieux, and I think you too, Ness. So I don't get.
I never talk shit about that fight.
Well,
Never.
Versus Canelo,
and it's that simple. Or you give up the belt.
Yeah, but anyway, lead by example.
Let me hear. I want to hear what you got to say.
Once you're done, we'll talk.
I'm done. I want to hear what y'all got to say.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. Listen, you going first?
I'm going first.
Go.
I never talk shit about Golovkin Lemieux, but
that was me.
The reason why, it was you. But the reason why it's a little different is because Golovkin has been at middleweight. He was the middleweight champ. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he was at middleweight. He had belts. He was running through middleweight. That's not what Canelo's been doing. He hasn't been at middleweight. He hasn't even fought a fight at 160. That's the difference. Go ahead, Ness.
Go ahead for what? You my fucking co-host for a reason. Okay? We understand each other. One guy is moving up to 160. One guy is dominating 160. It's not the same. Moving along. We're going to get to some other callers here. We're going to go to Skype. Everybody's favorite Canadian-Cuban. Alex, talk to me.
Hey, what's up? It's actually not Alex. It's his girl, so I guess I'm a first-time caller.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to play the intro for all first-time callers. One more.
Never the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Hey, it's Lisa from Canada. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good.
It's going good.
Good. I just had to call in because Alex got my pick for the weekend. I picked Canelo. He said it was because he was a ginger, and I am too. But, I mean, let's be honest, Canelo's pretty damn good. He's really good at cutting off the ring. He's really strong. So we all knew this fight was going to end in a knockout. When I first heard this fight announced, I couldn't really picture anything else. We all knew Khan had a questionable chin, and, he's had, 3 fights at 147. So for him to fight the quote-unquote middleweight champion of the world, that was kind of, I don't know. I didn't really like this fight when I first heard it because I thought it would be end pretty predictably, and it did. I didn't actually catch the fight live. I just walked in when they were announcing who won, but I saw the replays on YouTube, and it pretty much played out exactly the way that I thought. I was pretty impressed with Khan. He had some pretty good, effective aggression, but other than that, pretty much exactly the way I thought the fight would play out. So those are my thoughts.
Well, thank you, Alex's girlfriend, for being our, another now female caller.
Yeah, we're out there. We exist, mostly lurking, but, you know, we like to call in every once in a while.
Mostly lurking?
Well, I don't know. I'm sure there are lots of girls out there that, like, overhear their guys listening to this, but then they're like, nah, I don't really want to go talk to a bunch of guys about boxing. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you the easiest way to get any guy to talk to you about boxing is walk into the room wearing a TBV shirt. We have plenty of TBV shirts for women. It'll make it so easy because they're gonna, you know, this is the biggest show. They're gonna automatically know, like, holy shit, you listen to TBV? Easy icebreaker. But again, Alex's girlfriend, thank you for calling in. We're gonna get to some other callers here. We got some alumni on the line. It's been a long time. Let's go.
Hold up, son. Word.
QB.
To all the killers and the hundreds, I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers.
Yo, Ness, James, Mario, Cali fan, what's going on?
What up?
What's up?
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, man. Man, you know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to Khan, man. He got tremendous hard balls of steel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we pretty much knew the outcome from the door, what was going to happen. It was just all a matter of time when he got caught. We all knew he was going to get, but you know what I'm saying? That was the same type of knockout that Pacquiao did with Ricky Hatton. Same type of knockout. You know what I'm saying? So, now you got to question yourself. When he fight, if he fight Triple G, right? Could Triple G take his punches? The same opposition Triple G fought, I would think Canelo would knock him out too. Now, everybody hyped over Triple G power, cool. Now, did Triple G ever get hit with somebody falls like with Canelo power? No, he hasn't. So far as y'all to think he gonna go in there and wash Canelo, I think y'all mistaken, man. A lot of y'all mistaken, man. It's gonna be a competitive fight more than y'all think. That's what I'm telling y'all. It's not gonna be no whitewash. And I'm gonna bet one of y'all. I promise you, man. We're gonna go to a private line, and I'm gonna bet one of y'all some real money, man. Cause I got Canelo winning that fight. Triple G is slower than Canelo. I mean, yeah, he got a little skills, but I believe Canelo gonna come in at 160. He can't make 155. Look how he look. He looks drained, man. He's not making 155 no more. So I don't know what the negotiation is going to be, but I believe it's going to be at 160. They talked about it, and Canelo got pride, man. He's not giving up that belt without getting beat up in the ring, man. He's not going to let them just take his belt. He not doing that. He got a whole country behind him. He's not doing that. And I guess he told Oscar that, believe that. They going to go with that fight. That fight going to happen, man. And have Khan messed up because he got knocked out? No. Everybody knew he was going to get knocked out, but not like that. But we thought he was going to lose. He go back to 147. It's not going to mess his legacy up or nothing. The way he fought yesterday, he changed a lot of his skills got more better. I'm proud of Khan, man. He could beat a lot of them dudes at 147 if he fight just like that. He just was in there with a bigger, stronger fighter. And that's all I got to say. Y'all have a blessed night.
All right, QB. Thanks for calling in, brother.
I don't know who wins. I'm not God. No, this is boxing, guys.
Perfect.
201, you're up. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Yo, what's going on, Boxing Voice?
What's up? Who's this?
It's Cruise Control, baby. What's going on?
What's going on, brother? Talk to us.
First off, man, I gotta take some crow. I take some crow for the Khan and Tapia fight. Yeah, man. I just think that fight was a setup. I think they used Khan. I think they used Khan to make Canelo look good. Because I'm tired of these people talking about Canelo this, Canelo that. First of all, he fought a guy that moved up 2 weight classes. What do you expect?
One weight class.
2 shows ago.
1 weight class plus 1 pound.
One weight class. It doesn't really make a difference. But the thing is, everybody's bigging up Canelo. He just knocked a guy out that just moved up from light welterweight to welterweight. Now he's moving up to middleweight, and y'all giving him props like he's some killer. But now the issue I got is you want to fight a guy that's smaller, but then you want to drain GGG to 154 when you walk around at 160.
He said he would fight.
What happened?
What Triple G is. He said he would fight Triple G at 160, no problems. So what's your next comment?
He didn't say he will fight Triple G at 160. He said he will fight him at 155.
Yo, watch the post-fight press conference where he says 160 is no problem against Triple G.
He said that he will fight him at 155, but he said he will fight him at 155, but we all know that he walks around at 160, and GGG has the belt at 160. And GGG said take the belt at 160. So what's the problem? I don't understand. Canelo's draining people, and he's looking good, but you're not fighting at your natural weight, and you walk around at 160. And another thing, I'm gonna make this quick. How come at the weigh-in they coming at 155, but when they rehydrated back up, they didn't show the weight? So what does that tell you? He's walking around at 160. So fight the man at 160. That's all I got to say. Y'all have a blessed night. 1.
Cruise Control, great call, brother. Thank you for calling in. Let me get to none other than Georgie Porgy.
Yo.
What's happening?
Yo, man, let me get the kids 10 seconds. Everybody to put the kids to sleep. Put them to watch Disney and some shit, because I'm going in, man. I ain't having this shit.
But wait. Before you go in, because you know you're gonna go on a rant where we can't say anything. I just want to ask. You don't got no crow to eat. So you didn't pick Herrera. You didn't pick Khan. You didn't pick Tapia. You didn't pick Tapia.
Well, you don't ask QB. He got some crow to eat.
I'm just asking you. Did you pick Tapia?
But why you don't ask QB? He got some crow to eat.
What about Stevens? You didn't pick Texeria or Texeria?
Because AB hasn't hit from Crow in the past, my man. AB don't have that rep. AB don't have that rep.
Sitting with my call, man.
Yeah,
Yo.
So he didn't pick Stevens.
Let me get in, man. What's the name of the goddamn referee who got Canelo winning 4 fucking rounds? What's that nigga's name?
I'm not sure.
I don't know when to somebody give me that nigga's fucking name.
I don't know.
What you mean you don't know? You're supposed to know.
Yo, wait a minute.
We cannot come here talking shit for hours and not putting this nigga on the fucking blast. So all his family and everybody who knows this motherfucker know he don't belong on this thing. He's a sold out piece of shit. I can't wait for that motherfucker to die so I can dump on his motherfucking grave. That's
Good Lord.
Sport. Ain't nobody talking about these cocksuckers. So guess what? I'm talking about a fucking nigga right now. Fuck him. And the WBC with his fucking mafia putting that cocksucker there. A fucking disgrace to boxing. Everybody should be fucking outraged. Coming here screaming at that son of a bitch. Fuck him.
Yo, why you gotta have Tourette's, though?
Up and support. Because that's what you gotta do. You gotta get mad because they keep on pushing this shit every single fucking day.
But
you guys don't even talk about it. One comment. You guys should spend like 3 hours just talking about that cocksucker. So that motherfucker will never fucking be in no motherfucking judging no fucking fights ever. Ever. God. See you fucking later. You don't know boxing. Fuck you. You sold out. Fuck you even harder. Son of a bitch.
Man,
but great show. Thumbs up and support.
Good Lord.
Hey, Georgie. I don't know, man. I think you have children that could hear these things. You need to
Yo. And listen, he warned us, but that wasn't good enough. Like, that warning was not good enough for me.
I don't understand why watch boxing if you're going to get that upset. That's just very upset. But, whatever. Block caller. Oh, damn. He just dropped. But you know who's there? The scholar, Suleiman himself.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Scholar, talk to
Hello?
us.
Yeah, how you doing? Good evening. Listen, man, that fight was pretty good, man. Well, they try to build a fighter. I mean, they try to build this kid. Oscar is trying to build the fight with Triple G and give Canelo some confidence. I mean, Canelo his confidence looking nice. I mean, he was walking down the fighter. I don't call it what he was doing technically coming off the ring. He was walking on Amir, but I think Amir, once he started feeling the power of the body shots, he lost his game plan. That's what happened in the fight. He wasn't tapping and moving. He stopped tapping and moving. He started running. He went on defensive because if you see the when he went down, all his side from those right I call them the soup kitchens. Those massive right hands to the body. His whole side was black and blue already. So that took away his legs. Okay, and the way he was swinging the shots, the Hail Mary shots, like Tupac sings in that song Hail Mary. He was winning those Hail Mary shots, and those Hail Mary shots, they landed and knocked the man out. You know what I'm saying? So what I just want to see, I want to see somebody try to tag Triple G. That's what I want to see. Like, you know, I want to see somebody go in there with some bolas, you know what I'm saying, some cojones, and go in the ring in there and fight my man Triple G. And even if he gets knocked out, so what? I mean, the guy's 160, man. He's not gonna be no 155, man. You see the body on that kid? That kid is huge, man. That kid is 160. He's a middleweight, man. He ain't no 154. He ain't no 155. So I mean, just put these two guys in it, and at the end of the day, we're gonna have a middleweight champion, and it's gonna be a wrap. So you guys have a great night, man. And thanks for giving us the time to listen to your great show, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Suleiman, for tuning in and calling in, brother. We appreciate you. Let's go to 206. Who's this? You're live on the Boxing Voice. Where you calling from?
This is Skull from Seattle.
Skull, what's going on, brother?
What's good, man? Shit, I was on my casual shit last night, man. I only caught the main event when Khan got his last knocked out, of course. If I could miss that Ismael Barroso or whatever, I wanted to see that nigga fight, but yeah, you know, I'm glad Scorsese put something on it. Shit, really, I kind of agree with you guys, man. I really don't want to see a Canelo fight Triple G. I don't want to see somebody coming up in weight and then fighting the best fucking fighter at that weight class. That shit sound crazy. You know what I mean? So,
good point.
On that shit. And as far as Triple G goes, nobody's really sat down on their punches with this man yet. You know what I mean? He be letting you hit him in the face and shit, but that's because then nobody really sit down on their punches because they're afraid to get countered or you know, take a shot from him. You see that with at least for the last 3 fights, that's what I've seen. Whenever he let somebody sock him in the face like he did, the boy with all them tattoos and shit, let the boy sock him in the face, but the boy was dancing the whole time he was throwing them punches. He really wasn't sitting down on this shit, and he didn't have no pop either way it goes, but, you know. Anyways, niggas was on the hold for hella long.
He drop off, or is that me?
He dropped off. Ness, you there?
And obviously, we totally appreciate everybody tuning in with us on this Mother's Day. And we're going to go to Joey from Indiana. Talk to us, Joey.
Yo, what's up, Ness? Hey, real quick, man, let me shout out my boy Suleiman, man. That dude's a cool dude, man. I'm trying to get him some of that Thurman Porter fight. But real quick, Ness, man, shout out to Casual Fan, too. He came out earlier and said that people was getting on him. I'm going to be honest with you, Ness. I listened to that show you did last night, and Casual was the star, man. Like, he had me entertained. Dude's funny. He got a lot of characters. And I hope he continues to be on, you know, hosting these shows, man, because he's got a good character and he's entertaining, man. But going on for the I don't know if anybody brought this up yet, but I did see Jerry Jones at the fight last night, and he was at the Pacquiao-Bradley fight, man. What I think is going to happen is Canelo-Pacquiao in the fall at Cowboy Stadium, man. I really think that's where they're going to go.
Don't wish that evil on us. Don't you do that. Don't wish that evil on us.
What happened? What was that, James?
I said, don't wish that evil on us. I do not want to see Canelo versus Pacquiao in any stadium or my backyard.
Yo, listen, they probably going to do that.
Though, man.
It would do Canelo no favors. No favors whatsoever.
Yeah, I understand, man. I'm just like looking at it like, okay, Jones is at that Bradley fight, and then Jones was at that fight last night. I could see them doing something together. But anyway, man, I can see that fight happening. I just don't think they're gonna do that Canelo Golovkin anytime soon. But real quick too, to the fight fans, man, the PBC bounce card just kicked off too, man. So there's some fights tonight too. So anybody want to check that out? But no, that's it, man. That's all I got. But hey, man, y'all get off my boy Casual, man. He's doing a hell of a job, man. I hope he keeps on hosting these shows, man. Y'all be good, man.
All right, Joey. Thank you, man, for calling in. Yeah, man. I hope Suleiman comes to the Port of Thurman too. I don't know. I think Mario backed out on us, ladies and gentlemen. He has not confirmed any New York City arrivals.
Yo, we're like 2 months away.
I don't know.
Bro, we're like a month and a half away. What are you talking about? It's in the middle of June.
Oh yeah, it's like
it's only gonna get more expensive,
Hey, I'm a platinum flyer.
I hear you, man. Speaking of flyers, I'm gonna segue cheap plug into my loot crate, because Avengers, and obviously we're doing this month. And again, I told you I'm selective with it, but this one is an important month because of Warcraft, Dragon Ball Z, and Marvel Comics. Obviously, the Avengers. So this loot crate is gonna be very special. It's gonna have something that every boxing fan, from what I'm being told, because I'm even getting hit on Facebook. I'm keeping it real. People are DMing me and they're like, they remember that I put out that question, is there a correlation between the boxing fan and the comic fan? But at the end of the day, lootcrate.com/TBV and get $3 off your Loot Crate subscription and get some exclusive t-shirts, figurines. It's a $45 to $75 value for only $20, and you get to save $3 for using that Loot Crate /TBV code, right? So now let's get to, we got 970. You're live. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
New first time caller.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yeah, it's your boy Hand Raps out of Long Beach, California. Y'all know what it is.
Hand Raps. Oh, wait a minute, baby. Wait a minute. I just got to tell you, I love that name. No one came up with something that clever. Hand Raps. I like that.
Not bad.
Thanks, yeah. Yeah, good looking. Anyways, been listening to y'all for about a year now. I gotta say I'm impressed, man. Y'all the best. No competition whatsoever. Y'all the best. Anywho, I want to say, my man Gomez, man, I was kind of depressed on his shape. I was hoping he was going to come in a little more focused, but he looked good. He did what he had to do. I was looking forward to the KO, but whatever. I'm kind of tired on this whole Lemieux talk. I think he kind of garbage. I would like to see him and Stevens. That would be a good fight to see just where he really at. And what I'm really mad at is this Canelo weight, man. It's like, damn, what's the kid got to do, yo? He's fucking fought everybody. What the fuck, yo? And he's just getting his feet wet in his heavyweight division, or middleweight, my fault. And they want to put him in there with the beast, right? Okay. Everybody sees Triple G winning this fight. I'm a fucking huge Canelo fan, but what y'all gonna do when he fucking wins this fucking fight? That's all I want to know. If all you Triple G dick suckers out there, I'm a fan too, but y'all dick suckers out there who think you're gonna walk through Canelo, I just want to know what the fuck, who you gonna fight next after he whoop that ass? Y'all gonna talk this Mayweather gotta come back bullshit, but y'all know that if y'all ain't got Mayweather, he ain't have that Mayweather loss, the kid is a beast, man. That's all I can say. I appreciate y'all letting me burn as a new time caller. I'll be calling in more often. I haven't because I'm kind of a casual. So I appreciate what the last caller said about casual, because that's real talk. The nigga be making me laugh like a motherfucker. But I appreciate the boxing voice, man. I just want to know what's going to happen after Canelo with Triple G ass. That's all.
It's going to be a party. It's going to be a party, man, because last night Las Vegas was electric. That stadium was electric. And look at the hype, man. This guy, He's a star, man. And look, even Mayweather said it now, right? Mayweather came out yesterday and said it. Canelo's the new face of boxing. 347 New York City, talk to us.
What up? What up?
What up? What up? Who's this? Oh, this Masterpiece.
What the hell? I thought you had me on fucking on the list already. I should be I'm not a first time caller. You know I'm gonna be calling every other week.
We got to get you an intro then.
Oh my God, that'd be nice. Nah, I don't think I've earned my stripe yet. I want to earn it. You know, I'm not like Canelo. I actually want to earn my stripe.
Oh, cheap shot.
Hmm.
Nah.
Damn.
Let's talk about the fight a little bit. I'm not mad at Canelo, to be honest with you. I said that just joking around, but I don't hate him. I want people to understand this. Masterpiece don't hate Canelo, okay? She don't hate Canelo. I like Canelo, but I do want to see Canelo fight at 160. That's all I'm arguing. I'm not going to argue his skills. I'm not going to argue his ability to stand up against a man like Triple G. I'm not going to argue that. What I am going to argue is you need to fight at 160 because you're a middleweight champion, and that is the belt that you're holding. You have a guy that is right now the boogeyman in that division. He is creating a buzz. Your job is to put that buzz down because you're the champ. You're the champ at 160. He's creating buzz. He's making all this noise. Your job as a champ is to put him down, not to make excuses, not to fight him. But then again, that's my opinion. That's how I see it. That's how I always seen boxing growing up. But, right now, I just feel like post-Mayweather, a lot of these fighters want to hide behind their privileges. And, casual, I don't want to say casual fans, but even hardcore fans, we sometimes just eat that shit up because we love the sport. And like you said earlier to Georgie, if you hate the sport that much, so passionate, and why listen to it? I don't think it's that we hate it. It's just that we're used to seeing it another way. And I feel like we need to get used to where boxing is going now in the future. Because a lot of these fighters are hiding behind this privilege. Oh, I'm a champ, I'm this, I made this amount of pay-per-view buys, therefore I could put all the limitations on my other fighter. No, I understand if you want to put some sort of limitation, but don't limit him to the point where you're not fighting in a division anymore, because then that don't make no sense. That's the only argument that I have. I don't hate Canelo and everything else. I think Canelo has the potential of being an amazing fighter. Nothing wrong with him. But he needs to fight at 160. That's the only argument I'm giving people. If you can tell me why this man is not fighting on 160 and shut me down with that, then maybe I'll shut the fuck up. But until right now, I want somebody to tell me why this man is not fighting on 160. And be honest. That's all I want to know. Thank you, guys. I love you so much. Good show. Take a page out of Georgie's book. Thumbs up. Donate. Love you guys.
Masterpiece, that was one of your best calls. I love the passion. And let me tell you, you did earn your stripes because you are officially our most consistent female caller, which obviously has opened the platform for other women to call in. Look at today, Alex's girlfriend called in.
Yeah, good luck to her. Yeah, shout out to her. Fuck. Give us some coins, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Masterpiece is hype tonight.
I know, but that's the passion that we need from all callers, not just females.
I love this fight last night. I feel bad for Khan, to be honest with you. I was silent. I didn't say anything on my chair until that man got up. And I think Canelo felt that. And if I'm not, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think Canelo probably felt like shit. Maybe this 155 shit is not a good idea. I should start fighting on 160.
That's a good point. Great point.
Somebody, not fighting them in the division that they're supposed to. Bringing somebody up to 155. That makes some goddamn sense.
Great point.
He almost did. I'm pretty sure he's sitting at home being like, yo, I don't give a fuck what y'all managers or promoters are saying. We need to make this fight on 160. Hopefully, De La Hoya will be like, okay, let's make the fight on 160, and he doesn't give Canelo too much shit about 155.
Great point. Great point.
Like I said, your best call. Well, listen, Masterpiece, we would love to keep you on, but we got a few other people behind you. But thanks again, and thank you for tuning in. 215, Philadelphia, talk to me. Who's this?
Yo, Nash, what's going on? It's JP the politician.
JP, man, we went to you earlier. I don't know. We had some sort of glitch, but talk to us.
Yeah, I want to start off by Frankie Gomez. I find it kind of interesting. Kind of same individual they want to talk about Errol Spence, who's 26 years old.
They want to continue to give this man baby steps. But Frankie Gomez, at the age of 24 years old, he needed to make a statement or else his career was over. Makes no sense whatsoever. Like I said, the kid showed his talent last night. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with going forward, depending on where he's going to be fighting at, whether it's going to be 140 or 147. The kid displayed his talent. He completely dominated Mauricio Herrera, who's never been dominated, period, ever. He displayed his acumen, his boxing acumen last night. So people need to get off of Frankie Gomez's neck. The kid is 24 years old. Let him go ahead and do his thing. Now on to Canelo Alvarez. It was very interesting to watch HBO last night and the narrative that these guys are pushing. Triple G is 34 years old. Canelo Alvarez is 25 years old with a much stronger resume than what Triple G has. But HBO continues to push this narrative that Triple G is somehow something's being done or Triple G being wrong. Triple G's not being wrong. Triple G's had opportunity after opportunity within his career to take on big fights to challenge himself. So you want to tell me Canelo Alvarez's first fight at 160 must be Triple G? No, that makes absolutely no sense.
Give this man coins. Give this man coins.
If Triple G doesn't want to make concessions, then we step and we move forward. And Canelo, look, I'm tired of people that dissecting Canelo Alvarez's body. Oh, I'm looking at the pictures. Oh, it looked like he's really sucking himself down to get to 155. Look, the man is a 154 pounder. The man can make 154. He's a professional. That's one thing that people cannot take away from Canelo Alvarez. This man takes boxing absolutely serious. He takes his profession serious. The man can make 154 because he continues to do what he has to do on his daily lifestyle, like a Floyd Mayweather. He takes care of his body. So he can make 154. Look, the way I look at it is, if Triple G doesn't want to make the concession in terms of weight, then Canelo Alvarez has the option to maybe pull up Keith Thurman to 155, maybe pull up Kell Brook to 155, maybe pull up Liam Smith to 155, and we keep it moving. And the pay-per-views is going to keep selling because Canelo Alvarez at this point is a bona fide superstar. That arena was still for Amir Khan. That arena was still for Canelo Alvarez. So Triple G, they got to stop trying to put Triple G on some pedestal because he ain't earned it. He ain't earned it. He gotta earn the right to face Canelo Alvarez. And when he earned the right to face Canelo Alvarez, then maybe we could talk about 157 or maybe we could talk about 158. But until then, until he earn it, he ain't going to just be getting no free checks. He thinks he's getting free checks, free money from Canelo Alvarez. Talking about, oh, maybe we can have it at Cowboy Stadium. No, Canelo Alvarez, period. Anybody he fights will fill up Cowboy Stadium. He don't need no Triple G to fight at Cowboy Stadium. This is the nonsense that HBO is pushing. Like Triple G is, I'm hearing the way they describing the fight is Golovkin Canelo. How does Golovkin's name come first? Because the last time I checked, Canelo sold 900,000 pay-per-view boxing last fight, and Triple G sold 75,000 his only pay-per-view. Come on, what's this nonsense? HBO got to stop it. They pushing this crazy narrative. Because when Triple G still had his fight, I didn't see them putting Andre Ward up there. Talking about Golovkin needs to move up to 168 to fight Andre Ward. This is Peter Nelson. He continues to talk about how he was responsible for putting Triple G on HBO airwaves, how he's responsible for Chocolatito. He has this agenda with Triple G, who's 34 years old and time is running out. Business sense tells you HBO, why would you push a 34-year-old over a 25-year-old? It's obvious that Peter Nelson has some issue in terms of his agenda with Triple G. I'll let you get on to the rest of the calls. I said what I had to say. Peace.
All right, JP. Very, very passionate call. I mean, but it's really not any different from what we've been hearing. You know, people really want Triple G to, like Rosado showed us 3 years ago now, when he dared to be great. You know, that was him who started that little dare to be great versus Triple G, right? So, and people have done that consistently versus Triple G. So, is it now time for him, or does he wait?
I get what he's saying about the call, about saying, he needs to, earn himself into a Canelo Alvarez fight. But, like, realistically, when's the last time you saw a fight where the A side is going to be the underdog in the fight? I mean, it hasn't happened in a long time. Think about every Mayweather fight that's been out there. Think about any other pay-per-view fight that you've ever saw. If someone like Canelo Alvarez gets in there with Gennady Golovkin, the A side will be the B side, no matter what we say about it. So, there is logic in this, and there is some sort of, the hardcore fans know who is going to be favoring in that fight. So realistically, we know that Triple G will be coming in not as a pay-per-view star, but as the favorite in that. So, while I like that fight, but, realistically, I don't think that Triple G needs to earn a Canelo fight. Canelo needs to just get in there with Triple G. Neither one of each other need to earn a fight with each other. They're both prepared for each other. They both have fought for each other, and that's where it needs to lead.
We talk about fights marinating all the time, and there's such a negative condensate, or what's it called? There's a negative attachment to that word, and it stems for a lot of people further back, but for a lot of people, Lopez Gamboa, they remember Arum saying marinate, marinate, marinate. This is one fight throughout the last 20, 30 years of boxing where they would benefit from a little more promotion realistically. Like, do I want it to happen now? Yes. Would I love it? Yes. But could it wait just a tad longer? Absolutely. It's more important that he give up the belts and let Golovkin solidify his middleweight reign.
It's quality over quantity. Period. I'd rather Canelo be prepared for a Golovkin fight than to throw Golovkin in there with him right now and Canelo get whitewashed. I'd rather a good fight than a big fight, like I said.
James, if you want that, he has to vacate. 561. Talk to us. Who's this? Where you calling
What's
from?
What's going on, guys? It's Steve. You guys know me, but you ain't got me on.
Yeah, no, the producers. It's Mother's Day. Producers out.
No. No problem. No, man. Oh, I got to piggyback off a couple of things you guys are saying, man. He's handicapping the division, man. I love Canelo, but he's handicapping the division. The division's 55 to 60. Let your opponent come in where the fuck he wants to fight. Quit handicapping him. Like I think it could marinate a little bit longer and it could be a better fight. I'm fine with it, but he's the mandatory now. Triple G's the mandatory, so he's either got to fight him or move up, vacate that belt, or step aside money, something. You can't keep handicapping that division. Let your opponent fight where he wants to fight in that division. Don't tell him he has to fight at 55. And where's Steve with my damn money?
Steve with your money? What happened? Yo, out it on the air. What happened?
No, I called him out a while ago because he was giving away free money for this Khan fight.
Steve who? Steve from Blue's Clues?
What?
Steve from Blue's Clues? Who did you bet, bro?
Beeb.
Oh, Beeb. Oh.
You hear me?
Oh.
You need to take your ass over to a show that doesn't matter.
What did you say?
I took shots.
You're missing that gunshotness.
I don't even want to know. Moving on. 11111. Block caller, talk to me.
Yo, what's good, man? It's Wayne.
Wink, what up, baby?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, man, I appreciate you letting me call in on the show again, but I'm hearing, like, with the other caller, the caller right before this one, he did make a lot of valid points about Triple G and Canelo, with how they going to end up managing to get this fight off the ground. But back to the fights for last night, Stevens, he did look good. I like how he put that dude away. That was the first time I ever got to see him fight. I had heard of Mauricio Herrera, but I had never really seen him fight, and I must say, Freddie Roach had Gomez looking right. I liked how he was slipping, how he was moving in the ring. He was just sharp all damn night. But to the main event, man, Canelo, to be honest, Canelo looked good throughout the fight. He was getting handled the first 4 rounds. I mean, anybody else wants to disagree with what I'm saying? I mean,
you can do that. But at the end of the day, without the knockout and without Khan taking his eyes off of that man for that split second, because that faint jab to the body, I had to look at that again and I really saw how quick that damn punch was, because that shit was really, really fast. I had to watch it it was some video that got loaded up on YouTube earlier, and I had to watch it in slow motion, and the punch was just so much faster in real life. You know what I'm saying? And another caller had said he does appreciate how Canelo walked up to Khan, you know, and he kneeled down over him, because at the end of the day, man, he needed that because he fucked that dude up, you know. But what's y'all take on it, man?
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it was actually going back to a point that Ness has started, and I didn't get to comment on it because it just slipped my mind. Look, I'll say this. I get your point, and you're absolutely right, and I actually made a similar point about the way that Khan started the fight, but it's a 12-round fight. You know, when you're in there with a guy who's just physically bigger than you, and Canelo wasn't really doing this, but you want to get in there and make it a physical fight. You know, when you push down on a guy's neck or when you're holding their arms, all that stuff wears you down. And when you are physically stronger than the guy you're in there with, it takes that much more, you know, of their just heart and everything, you know, their stamina, all of that. So we don't know what Khan would have been able to continue to do throughout the fight. It could have been a 6-round fight for him. We don't know, but look, he lost at the end of the day.
201, talk to me.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Jersey Sev, what's up?
Jersey Sev in the building.
Ducking me, yo.
Yo, put on the fucking intro.
Fuck your intro.
Why you ducking me, son?
No. Whatever. Let me find this. I don't know. I think we deleted it.
Jersey Sev.
Get crazy, get wild, let's party, get loud. If you wanna have fun, do something crazy.
All right, so this is it, man. You know, just like the other caller said, prior to the home run knockout, which we all knew was going to happen eventually, I thought Khan was doing an excellent job, and I think he evolved as a fighter getting ready for this fight. He improved as a fighter getting ready for this fight, and this fight could help him become a better fighter and have a good career if he takes it the right way. I don't know how he's going to be after this knockout, but he proved that he could follow a game plan for once in his life. He was fighting in a very disciplined fashion, and he was giving Canelo severe problems with his movement and his jab. And I just want to say, even though that knockout was devastating and hellacious, I do not see Canelo lasting more than 6 rounds against Triple G. I don't think he has enough to pose a challenge. I don't even think it will be a competitive fight. But I guess it has to technically happen because Canelo has the middleweight title. Other than that, you know, I ain't got shit else to say. You know, Canelo Triple G ain't a competitive fight. Let's just get it out of the way and have Triple G as the middleweight champion, because that's what's supposed to be.
All right, Sabo, thanks for calling in, brother. We got 313. Talk to me.
Oh, what up, Nessus? What's up, man?
What's up? It's been a long time. Talk to me.
Yeah, just wanted to touch on some things JP said and some other callers. And I don't know, maybe you guys' show has shifted a little bit from actually having a dialogue with your callers to just, you know, letting them rattle on complete nonsense for, you know, a couple of minutes. But this whole BS about Canelo being 25 years old and Golovkin being 34 years old and he has a way better resume than him. I mean, none of you have ever even like thought to contextualize that, to say that Canelo has been a pro since 15 years old and he's been a pro for longer than Triple G has. It's not like Triple G has a 10-year head start on Canelo Alvarez. With promotional issues and while being ducked, and Canelo Alvarez has a huge Mexican following, If he didn't have a better resume than Triple G with all those intangibles, it would be a shame. It would be a travesty. But the fact that Golovkin has 2 middleweight titles and Canelo is proclaiming himself to be the lineal middleweight champion, and you have absolute nincompoops, nitwits, morons, racists, who call in continuously and say Triple G doesn't deserve a fight when he's the mandatory and holds 2 of the belts in that man's weight division. He's been hiding at 155 for 3 years, and you're still giving him excuses not to fight the best in his division. Are these real boxing fans, or are these just racist haters? I mean, just call it like it is. Secondly, when it comes to Canelo and Triple G, like I said all the time, these are the double standards. Everybody is now business savvy. This moron, JP, just said Triple G did 75,000 pay-per-views, and none of you called him out on that? But when somebody says that Khan moved up 2 weight classes, James is there to say, oh, no, it's actually technically 1 weight class in a pound. But you're not going to correct somebody when he says that Triple G did 75,000 pay-per-view buys when he did 150 against a no-name, when Canelo against another no-name, Angulo, only did 300K. You can't compare Canelo's pay-per-view with a big star like Cotto to Triple G's with Lemieux. That just doesn't make any sense. Thirdly, like I said, when they discuss these fights, they always have, it's always been this way. When Rigondeaux fights and people avoid him, these same callers, these same, people of the same complexion and the same tone and the same arguments, they come and say, you know what, why does this exist in boxing, A side, B side? Why don't they just fight Rigondeaux? I mean, he's the best in their division. They're all ducking him. When Rigondeaux, people actually leave the fights that he's at. He stinks up the joint. But then they don't care about business then, right? But with Triple G wanting to fight the champion in his division and he's the mandatory, they'll say, oh, he has to earn his shot. He has to earn his sign. And suddenly you bring economics onto the table. Imagine if since Errol Spence is soon becoming Brooks mandatory, Kell Brook just says, no, I sell out arenas here in the UK. Nobody knows who Errol Spence is. Let him earn his shot. These same calls will be calling in crying, and you know damn well that that's the case. They will call in crying saying, oh, why did this exist? This shouldn't happen. But with Triple G, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine for this to happen every time. So, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. The guy brought up a Cheney welterweight to the middleweight division, and this is somehow okay. But when Salka, on regular Showtime, came up 2 weight divisions to fight Danny Garcia, who in my opinion is not even as good of a puncher as Canelo Alvarez, we all decried it. But this was on pay-per-view. On pay-per-view, a guy who got put down by Diaz, and I'm a huge Khan fan, and yes, you know that. But this is a circus act. And I don't know what else there is to say about that. That's all I can say. The double standards are glaringly clear, and you have to recognize it.
Well, Wassam, all I can say is there's 365 days in a year. On average, we do 2 shows a week. If I argued with everyone, I would drive myself crazy. But you did a phenomenal job explaining your side.
Well,
I did have, hold on, Mario, because I did have some issues, I don't know. Maybe you're meeting up with these guys. I'm hoping that's the case because on the internet, I don't understand how you categorized these callers and gave them a skin tone and all that. So that was the only uncool thing that I didn't like. But other than that, your call was great. And I shouldn't have to cut a caller off because you are the very same person that criticizes us for that. So the way that I gave you the stage to vent and voice your opinion, I'm just living up to my motto as the voice of the people, buddy.
Look, you'll be surprised with how many people email us and message us about, Fight Doctor, about yourself, about everybody that is on one side of the fence or the other. And so if we listen to everybody that said these guys should get cut off or we should, poke holes in their calls all the time, either we'd be here forever or nobody would be allowed to call in anymore. All I want to just say real quick is that you'll hear me say, great call, good call, whatever. I'm more about giving positive feedback to callers that I think make excellent points as opposed to just like tearing down people. If I catch someone say something that is, not true, then I most of the time will pounce all over it unless it's something really small. But, for the sake of the show, we let it, just try to keep the momentum going. Sometimes those things get away from me. I'm doing a lot of things on the back end. Nessus is doing the exact same thing, so our attention's not there. I will make one last point. You said the Canelo's intangibles allow him to have a better resume. And I just want to make 2 points. Number one, you said it would be a shame if Canelo was Canelo and didn't have the resume that he had as a Mexican star. But would it be the first time? No, it would not. There have been plenty of Mexican stars in his shoes. Maybe not plenty, but definitely some Mexican stars in his shoes that have not had resumes that were not even half as good. And number two, you made the point that, he is a Mexican star. I'm assuming you're saying that means the likes of Austin Trout and Laura would want to get in the ring with him. But then you could use the opposite for an argument and say because he's such a star, he could choose to avoid them and still make the money that he makes. So, that's all. That's all.
All right. And again, I'm just going to say, Wassam, that was a great call. And what you need to you need to do is continue to call in and, back your guy, because there's, like you said, there's going to be 1,000 what you call morons and idiots, but every fighter has a following, man, and this is boxing just like any other sport. When two teams divide, it is what it is.
There's been plenty of Golovkin love tonight, too.
Yeah, and look, this fight, the entire narrative was surrounded around Golovkin. The entire commentating team was,
absolutely
fluffing his balls, man. Like, come on, I don't understand. Like, look, I just want to see whoever's gonna fight. That's what I told you guys already. You can see that they have tamed me a long time ago. Like, I already see this is the reality that we live in. Canelo may or may not fight Golovkin next, and that's the world I live in. So I know. So I prepare my mind, and it's like, Stevens look good, Lemieux look good, and Golovkin looks good. Who is Golden Boy gonna go with? Either of the three for me, I'll take. That's it. That's how I sum it up. 260, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
I think it's Assalamualaikum Assalam, right?
Yeah, man. I'm calling from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I think Triple G is a bum. If he steps in the ring with Canelo, he'll just get knocked out.
Yo, you just proved the previous caller right. Wait,
I know.
Yeah, this must be a prank call.
Avoided Andre Ward. Let him fight Andre Ward like Mayweather said, and then he can fight Canelo. He's ducking Ward for so long because he knows Ward will whoop him. That's all I gotta say. Triple G is a bum. Canelo's the best pound for pound.
What were the odds that we took that call after Wassam? Like, what were the odds? Like, for real. Like, it has not been a Golovkin hater show at all.
Let me see. If the chat right now says, give me some Wassam's in the chat. If I see Wassam's name in the chat, we're gonna do a roll call. We're gonna do Wassam's name in the chat. We'll get him back on and let him get some get back on that. And if not, we're gonna do a chat roll call. Let us know where you're calling from. You gotta say where you're calling from in the chat as your comment, and then we're gonna hit you up with your screen name.
Chat's too busy talking about my haircut, bro. Yo, don't talk to me when your girl slides into my DMs, bro.
Yo, it look good. Someone's hating?
You got the Lemieux going on, right?
I know. That's what I was gonna say.
Yo, someone's hating, bro. Yo, don't act like I don't read this chat. Yo, all these motherfuckers are talking about, James slid off to comb his hair. Yo, fuck y'all. I like my hair.
It look good, bro.
Wow, a lot of people want Wassam. They want Wassam, the truth. Wassam, that shit. Oh, fuck Wassam. Some want Wassam. I'm gonna go to Wassam.
See, that's what I'm saying. Some people want Wassam, some people don't. So everybody loves him. Everybody hates him.
Wassam, this is the point, though. You must be here. You must be that beacon of light for Gennady.
He's not there.
You must be the one to defend him show in and show out.
Thank you. This is my
No.
for everybody. Thank you, my fans.
Yeah, it's not about
Yo,
Golovkin.
real quick, yo. Georgie Porgy talking about my haircut is crooked. This lineup is serious.
Show some respect for Wassam.
Sorry, Wassam. Sorry, Wassam. I gotta defend myself. I need to defend myself. Is what it is. I'm a man.
Listen, Wassam is back by popular demand. The chat requested him, so give him the floor.
Yeah, it's not about Golovkin. Everybody knows me, and you know, I make predictions on every fight. I stayed up till 5 o'clock yesterday. Unfortunately, I fell asleep right before the fight to watch Inoue. But I'm a hardcore fan. I love the sport. I did some road work with my man, and we did mitts and everything. But it's not about Golovkin. It's just about taking a stance and being consistent all throughout. It's about kind of diminishing there is racial bias. There are strong racial elements into the arguments that people use against certain fighters, and I have to deal with that with when people dislike African American fighters or Mexican fighters, and I debate them all the time. I'm Errol Spence's number one propagator. I've been debating Scorsese on Frankie Gomez for like 3 hours. So it's not about Golovkin. It's just about the standards we choose to utilize when we judge fighters. Who would waste their time just to call up and troll and say, Golovkin's a bum and fought nothing but bums? We allowed this narrative to take place, for where fighters are called bums now, and where certain things are omitted from the context, and then people use that and they slander each other with it. So my thing is, we need to just educate ourselves, not just as boxing fans, because this works in life in general. You can't. There's no excuse for being a fan of a sport and not knowing what's going on. That's just my thing.
All right, Wassam. Well, thank you for coming back on. I just text Ken because obviously there's going to be a lot of New York activities for the Porters. I'm going to pull up the itinerary in a bit, but we have taken our last caller, obviously, and this is the end of the show. So we want to thank everyone that tuned in, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Numbers have been great. We appreciate it. Kill them with kindness. Give them the other cheek. Continue to hit that thumbs up button. Continue to support. We're going to hit the streets starting actually tomorrow. Like I said, the Porters have a full itinerary. Sean is going to be sparring the radio personality, Charlemagne the God. And he's going to be doing that on Wednesday. And I'm actually going to throw some punches with Sean myself. So I'm super pleased. Yeah, I'm super happy to announce the only two radio show hosts. It will be me and Charlemagne. So that is awesome.
Yo, Ness got like 9 inches on the dude, like 400 pounds on the dude.
No. But you see the difference between me and all you guys is all you guys probably have sparred. I'm not a sparrer. I ain't never done that.
Yo, I can't wait. Y'all hear that, right? Ness is going to be...
No, but listen, all these things are open to the public. This is why I'm even talking about it. So on Monday, which is tomorrow, it's going to be bag and focus mitts at Gleason's Gym from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be workouts. It's going to be free. It's going to be open to the public. It is a limited capacity, so get there early if you want to get in. Remember, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Gleason's Gym. Just Google Gleason's. Find that very easy. It's in Brooklyn.
Wear your TBV shirt.
And make sure you got your TBV shirt on, man. Show some love. Let them know how you heard about this. On Tuesday, if you can't make it Monday, come back to Gleason's, and you can watch sparring live. Sean Porter sparring that you will not be able to record. But from 12 to 2, he will be sparring, and it's open to his fans. But it's limited capacity, ladies and gentlemen. It's limited capacity. So you can get in. It's free and open to the public. But, again, limited capacity. But I'll tell you one thing. What do you think? What do you think Ken Porter's going to do if he sees a guy in line with a TBV shirt? You tell me. I'm just saying. I don't know. You tell me. But that's on Tuesdays. You can watch some sparring. No cameras allowed. Wednesday will be when you can watch the sparring versus Charlamagne the God and myself. So if you want to be there, that's when you should be there, when I'm there. So we can have the meet and greet, we can take some pictures, and we can have some fun. But if for whatever reason you can't make it to the most important day, which is Wednesday, because Ness is there, I'm joking. That would make me a narcissist, right?
Pause.
Thursday is sparring again at Gleason's Gym, and you're invited from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Free again, open to the public, but limited capacity. Friday, May 12th.
Yo, he's sparring James and Enrique that day. No, I'm bullshitting.
John's University, Team First College and Career synopsis. He's going to be doing something from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
That's what's up.
At the arena of St. John's University on 8000 Utica Parkway in Queens. Google it. It's going to be a bunch of panelists there. Professor Yvette Morgan, former world champion, obviously Sean Porter, his father and trainer Kenny Porter. DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club is also going to be there, you know. So definitely head on out over there. And obviously, again, all free. This is all part of the build-up for Thurman Porter. So, Joey, unfortunately, you can't come in early. You're missing this, man. But guess what? TBB will have it all captured for you on camera without a doubt. What else? What else are we missing here?
Yo, Ness, if you're about to crack those mitts, though, on video, make sure you don't worry about power. You worry about technique, period.
All right. Yo, listen, I'm just going to use the jab on Sean. Bottom line is he's small. He was talking about my man Keith Thurman, talking about how, you know, Keith says he's fast, but he's never really been in the ring with someone who's fast. So, you know, the thing is that he's going to be able to cut the distance, right? So he should be able to cut the distance on me too, right? I'm the taller.
Yo, hands up. Just hands up. Keep a good base.
Yo, remember that? Yo, remember that uppercut. Remember that uppercut. Because the uppercut is hard from short distance. When your ass is like 7'4", like your ass is, you'll be able to cut that off and left hook right off the sample.
You know they're gonna have my hand tied behind my back or something, yo. Like I'm a heavyweight. If something happens, the fight's off. Al Heyman gonna have my hand.
They're gonna try to get you to smoke cigarettes before the fight, but don't do it.
No way.
Don't do it.
Nah, man, I'm not doing it. But listen, man, we're gonna get up out of here. And I want to thank everyone that continue to tune in. Everyone that's staying on there strong. Those numbers yesterday, ridiculous today. Same thing. We love you. And continue to support BoxerVoice.com. We out.
Peace.